Yo, boy, yeah, you finally caught that live, boy. AJT finally caught the line. Drop your cash out, brother. You know how that game go. Know how that game go. Drop your cash out. Spread the love, baby. Spread the love. Bring y'all a little live from my humble abode. Like I said, man, we finna talk a little bit about equipment. Hey, what's up, D? Hey, ain't nothing to it, man. Shout out D Rich. Most definitely, man. Great conversation had with you the other day, man. C4, we got you. Hey, all mile matter, boy. That's a bad statement there, boy. That's a good one right there. I like that. All mile tiptoeing. There go Maurice. Maurice, I think I'm gonna make you a moderator, Maurice. You wanna be a moderator, man? Cause we're gonna start doing some extensive live. They be talking about don't go on live that long, but I think if I'm helping somebody, we could talk it out, man. We can do some comments and all that. You wanna be a moderator, tiptoeing? Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, Roger. Shout out Roger Brown, man. He catching no live too, man. Hey, AJT. What is that? Yeah, AJT. Hey, drop your cash out, bro. You the first one in the journey. Yeah, hey, I'm gonna have to get with you, tiptoeing for real on that. I think we on Facebook together. You gotta get in that inbox. You gotta give me your number, man. I'm gonna have to put you in like a moderator situation, cause I'm gonna start saying some stuff in a little while. I ain't gonna even be vulgar about it, but it gonna make some folks feel bad. And I think they gonna probably, we might have to need somebody to just manage some of these comments on some of this stuff that gonna get said over the next few weeks. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on in the market right now, about the used trucks, and about a lot of stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? I probably need you up in there tiptoeing. Hey, and if y'all in Alabama, y'all ain't paid y'all cotton note, y'all around that area where Marie be at, please pay your cotton note. Cause that man is not gonna let you make it. On my mama, that dude is not gonna let you make it. He is gonna tow your shit. That dude don't play. I won't give me a tow truck cause he balling over there, y'all. But anyway, what we can't talk about today, a little bit about equipment, a little bit about what's going on in the market right now, and how we don't want you to be fooled. Please don't be fooled. Victory Lab, love to see you up in here, brother. How you doing, man? Shout out Victory Lab Transportation LLC. Yes, sir. Hey, we gonna have a little good, little smooth little talk today, man, about this used equipment in the market right now on CDL, non-CDL side, high shot, a little bit of semi-talk up in here. You know what I'm saying? Janitra, well, I love you, baby. I see you in there. Good afternoon. But we're going to talk a little bit about the used truck, what's going on, CDL, non-CDL, high shot, like I said, a little bit of semi-talk in here. And we're going to, because like I say in a lot of videos, all this stuff is relative, y'all. It's just the size and the scale of things and what have to be done to be appropriate to run certain equipment, but all of us ain't doing nothing but moving shit. You know what I'm saying? Thumbs up, you know, the objective of this game is to move a lot of shit at a high value on each move if you can, if it's any way possible. Or at least make it so you can average the money out with all mile count for a profit, whatever it may be. So, with that being said, I'm gonna keep saying what I've been saying since I started this channel. When I started this high shot company, I got $14,000, 2006. I ran 2,500 to do non-CDL high shot. I went and bought a used, slightly used, 28-foot straight deck PJ trailer. I know everybody in the comment gonna go banana because that ain't what you really see normally. It's just a guy getting an older truck with a few miles on it and running a trailer that's considered extremely short. But it was a method to the madness though on the short trailer because it allowed me to put 11.5 on the deck safely and run a lot of CDL loads that people thought I couldn't touch, but I could touch them. You know what I'm saying? So it was a method to the madness, but at the same time, that low overhead, rap, get that low overhead. Now, if y'all to follow the journey on this channel, y'all know that that truck got paid for in basically 16 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Gave him 1,000 down and then, you know, got out here, got my groove together, got my trailer and stuff, ran a couple weeks and started paying them $1,000 a week until it was done. So you look at it like 3 months, boom, you ain't got no truck no more. I bought the trailer cash. So at that point in time, only person I owe is me. Thumbs up if you like to pay yourself back rather than them other people. At the end of the day, I'd rather pay myself back than be paying them other people back. And that kept my cost of operation so low that I could learn the game. I could get screwed a few times and it didn't kill me. I caught a few violations when I first started and paid a couple of fines, but it didn't break me. Y'all feel where I'm going with this? With the low cost operation that you can't see unless you are going into buying some equipment. Everybody following along. So now you get where I'm going with this to the point where that's why I down talk. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I say it's some stupid shit that people do, and you know they follow the lead on a lot of shit, but that enterprise rental or long-term lease program, however they want to word it, if you're running 48 states and you really ain't got no customer base established yet and you don't know where you may have to run to get the money, that is the most idiotic thing you can do with your money. I'm just That's why I said tiptoeing. I might need a moderator for this because we got this subscriber count up a little bit, and it to the point where people are starting to realize, man, everybody ain't crazy. See, everybody ain't crazy. This what y'all gotta realize, and I know a lot of y'all already know this. Everybody ain't crazy. Everybody ain't gonna believe everything you say just because you say it and it ain't producing. And these folk losing they homes and their vehicles and all type of stuff because they can't make the math make sense because it don't make no sense. It'll never make sense unless you're running some extremely short mile with dedicated customers. You know exactly how many miles you're going to accumulate every month, and you know exactly how much money you're going to make off of those miles every month. You cannot come to a rational decision about keeping something like that for an extended period of time. It's just not rational. Thumbs up if you know that shit is a trap. That shit is from, man, that shit from Satan. For real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So when you're going out looking for equipment, we talking about equipment you're gonna buy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't down talk people going to buy new trucks. That if that's in your budget, that's what you want to do, that's the way you run it. And I'm gonna take a page from HT Logistics and I'm gonna make a disclaimer. This is not the end all be all of everything that you know you could think about, and the opinion you should trust the most is your own opinion. My opinion should be a secondary opinion, but I'm just gonna tell you how this stuff works and how you can actually grow to hit the growth ceiling to be able to expand and scale an operation. It's a little bit more than just trying to build a fleet. I always say fleet building, but my mind is it multitask real hard, y'all, and I don't just express everything verbally as I should to y'all because you know I'm doing shit. You know, like I say, I just say fleet building, but at the same time, you know, I often mention asset-based carriers. You know what I'm saying? You want to become an asset-based carrier. You know what I'm saying? The only way you can be an asset-based carrier is to have assets, and a trailer is not really considered an asset, to be honest with you. It is. You can have enterprise trucks, you can have like 5 of them, and you can have all the trailers you own, but there's no security in there because if something happens with enterprise and they have to come get these trucks, you're just stuck with stuff that you don't have power units for. You know what I mean? Anything happens, it ain't in your control completely. So when you go out and we go try and find the perfect used truck. Oh man. Man, thumbs up if you know there is really, to be honest with you, no such thing as the perfect used truck. It can have a lot of great attributes that you like about it and stuff that checks off in your yes column. You know what I'm saying? But it's always something, y'all. It's always something because, like, they ain't just throwing trucks away. Like, you got to think about it. Some people upgrade trucks and they haven't really worked the truck, or it's a personal used vehicle, kind of like the truck I bought. It was somebody personal, it was a work truck, but it wasn't really a work truck. It had a camper top on it, so it was kind of like a transport vehicle for tools and shit. But at the same time, it wasn't heavily used. But, you know, like, even the best truck, You get the Ford, it's got the best transmission, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's got, you know, the lightest body in the industry. It's aluminum and everything like that. And then you got the cons, hey man, depending on what year it is, you got ball bearing turbo issues. Depending on what year it is, you got certain stuff that involves you taking the cab off the truck to be able to change just to make the updates that's mandated for these different parts that have been found to be defective over the years, just to update the truck. You know, certain stuff like that when you coming across used trucks. And what one thing I would advise anyone that is shopping for a used truck right now is to look in a widespread area. Now, I want to do a little history with y'all on the company and why everything kind of cruises at this level, just equilibrium. Even though I'm at home not doing shit, it's still, everything's still kind of doing that because 18, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this boldly, I was not a fool. I'm gonna say that again. 2018 was a balling ass year for a lot of people, and it was for me too. And I was just coming out here, and I saw it. But just my experience in other businesses and my experience with dealing with markets and commodities and currencies and different stuff like that, I knew coming into the game, even though it was the worst time of the year that I could come in, that race was so good because the market was inflated. I still was gonna make it. Thumbs up if you know timing is a motherfucker. Timing, man. Timing. I looked at it, I said, man, ain't no need to start out in the good time of year and get your number going like this and get to the bad time and don't know how to happen. I'm going to ease my company out here while they say ain't nobody doing nothing. Crank it up in August, really be running good by September. Then October, November, December, most people chilling. I'm going to run the wheels off them motherfuckers. Everybody else chilling OND month. Basically what I'm doing counter right now because, I mean, it's just, it done progressed, y'all. I can do that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run the wheels off that thing while everybody else finna go on vacation and chill. All I matter say I'm selling my current truck, 2017 Ram, 3500 dually with bags and sleeper, not DOT compliant though, but real mattress, complete hot shot ready. I'm going to be moving into a Denali, nice choice. That's good. We got one that's a boss ass truck. 0 issues and deleted. Shit, somebody in the South might want that, boy. Hey, y'all see it up there. Hey, that is what it is right there. How many miles on that truck, brother? How many miles on that 3500 all live matter? King Solo, truth, that's the truth. King Solo said he started in August 2019. It was rough. My guy said 90,000 miles. Boy, you hurry up and got that problem away from up under that truck immediately when you got it. It was already done like that. But hey, kudos on that. I don't care what they say. Those are problems. Those are problems, and you gotta get that off that truck. Eventually, you'll see. If you really owning trucks, and you're gonna see that from time to time. That's why I put the thumbnail up as a little hint. That third gen. That third gen, y'all. That boy got easily tuna said not a mark on it, man. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, I think it'll sell. But right now, like I said, with everything that's going on right now, y'all wouldn't believe this shit. And I really want to show y'all, get on this Facebook marketplace. Okay. I don't want nobody to be no asshole. And the phone on 1%. Man, my phone on 1%. But I don't want nobody to be no asshole. And I don't call people names and nothing like that, but it really you'll feel like an asshole even if don't nobody call you an asshole if you choose to go out and buy somebody else's project. That's one of the first and foremost things I say. If you doing this for a business, you really want to make money and keep your overhead low and be able to see your money. You buy the most. Hey, John Doe, what's up, brother? You buy the most close to stock, barely used, no ball in the bed having, camper shell proof on the top with the stripper adhesive around the bed having, records from when they first got it brand new having, third gen. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't know what this shit gonna do. And everybody like, man, that third gen cab ain't that big. Hey man, it's 5.9. Sometimes you can get one with a 6.7 and yada yada yada. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the low cost operation gonna see you through this uncertain time. Putting yourself in a position to have to pay a lease on an enterprise truck or a rental on an enterprise truck based upon the miles that we gonna run, and we don't know which way these markets and which way these lanes are gonna shift depending on what's in demand. You may have to run some long miles. You're probably gonna have to run some long miles. And they make it sound good. I think they got a new promotion where they give you like 5,000 free miles for 3 months and all that. I ran 5,000 miles in a week and a half the last time I ran some, y'all. And there's 3, 4 more weeks in the month left where they're gonna tax your ass, and you're gonna try and go make that good money on them long runs again. And it's gonna be subtracted from the top line. You ain't even gonna get to the bottom line. It's subtracted from the top. When you pick that load up and it was $2 a mile, and when you subtract that 18 or 13 or whatever cents they gonna take off there, you just automatically, even before you count the deadhead miles you went to get it, the fuel you gonna waste tonight sitting there idling, the food you gotta eat while you out there on the road, and so on and so forth, and things that may occur on the journey. You know what I'm saying? When you whittle that down to the bottom line, you start to realize that really enterprise eating better than me, because all the expenses on me and they wanted the expenses. By the time I get down to the bottom line, I really ain't made shit. Victor Loud said, buying both cable trailers cash before I hit the road. 07 Ram, think about running interstate for the first 6 to 9 months because of insurance very low. Virginia got lots of lows. That's a good strategy. It's always good to have a strategy. If you study your market and your lanes in your area, and you see a trend going on and you can actually capitalize on that trend, you could possibly do that. But I would say this, man, if you're gonna go ahead and run, go ahead and get your MC number if you ain't got it, and the DOT number, and you can still run interstate, and you can stay up in that little area for that time being. But if something big pop up, you know what I'm saying, you can call your insurance and stretch your mileage radius out a little bit, take that hit one time, and you open yourself up later on once you get, abreast of what's going on in your area, because you may never have to leave. You may never have to leave. I got a guy in Illinois right now. He run basically 4 states. He getting it, and get what? He really ain't gotta leave. He finna relocate, and we're gonna do that area just like we did up there. Get up there, build yourself up, get knowing these brokers, run that stuff over and over and over, and they're gonna start calling you. He don't gotta look for stuff all the time. He look for stuff every other day, but he ain't looking for shit every single day. Folk be calling these people, so you know what I'm saying? Like, it can work anywhere. That's why I say this shit anywhere. It's everywhere, but. Coolest thing about it, man, like I said, you can run that area. It is a lot of freight up there and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, you're gonna wanna at least give yourself the opportunity, if you see it, to go make some decent money on a long run or something. Because I ain't gonna lie, that's what I came out from the beginning. I had the '06 Ram, y'all. Had 169,000 miles on it, 6-speed manual, G56. 5.9 engine, 373 rear end, single rear wheel, 4-door quad cab, big horn. I mean, it's basic with power, everything in it, but it's basic. It's just nothing special about that truck. And I knew there didn't have to be anything special about this truck. I'm just trying to get out here and keep my overhead as low as possible, keep my cost of ownership on this truck as low as possible, because I know this truck does not require DEF. This truck does not have an emission system on it. I could actually play with the truck and make the truck fast in the future. And if I want to do something, it's totally legal. But if you calculate how much DEF you use over a yearly amount of time, buying that cheaper truck that doesn't require that is gonna actually probably save you enough where your maintenance account, far as your PMs and your oil change and stuff, will basically be paid for by the lack of use of DEF. You know what I'm saying? To an extent, you know what I'm saying? It depends on a lot of factors, but most times, Probably every other fill up, you need to fill up the DEF thing for like what, $20. Every other time you fill up the regular tank, you need some DEF. So that adds up over a week. You may fill up 10 times. You fill up 5 times with DEF. That's $100 worth of DEF. You know what I'm saying? You might not look at it like that, but 3,000 miles, you probably burn 70, 80, $100 worth of DEF in a week. So you times that times 52 weeks or 50 weeks if you take a vacation or whatever like that, that's a substantial amount of money that you saving right there that could be put back into the truck to make it a better truck, you know. And like I said, I'm not just advocating for third gen. I got fourth gen. I went from a third gen to a fourth gen for a little bit better cab, a little bit better visibility, a little bit better road presence. It's a nicer looking truck. But when I made that jump, I had to be honest with myself and know, hey man, that maintenance account gonna have to be a little bit different for this truck because there's a lot more systems involved that could bring this truck to its knees. I'm telling you, it's a lot more in there. Hey, that's the number, bro. And you know what I'm saying? That real. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, because I buy DEF, I buy a lot of stuff. I buy fuel, I buy a lot of fuel, y'all. On my mama, I just got off the phone with my tech people about some more stuff I'm doing. And I was like, man, you know, he said he finna get in the game too, man, because he be looking at my number for the last 2, 3 years. He said I done inspired the shit out of him. So, and did the tax folks, so they finna do their thing. So I'm with it, but at the same time, we would have a conversation to the effect of, hey man, most time you look at what I bring in as write off on jet diesel alone is what these folks grossing. Thumbs up, you know you right now $80,000, $90,000 worth of diesel in a year. It's some folks ain't grossing 80,000, 90,000 in a truck. And they trying their hardest. I ain't no bullshit. They trying their hardest, but they can't net no money because they structure wrong and their overhead so high, they can't never see the money. Damn good idea, Jonathan. We running freight and cars. Yeah, make sure you got an auto policy, man, and run that shit up, bro. Run it up. Run it up. You run freights and car, man, that's it. Hit it from both angles, man. You know, I don't like cars because I'm a risk versus reward person. And if I'm not moving 5 cars, I don't think the risk is worth the reward because if I'm not moving 5 cars and something happens to one of these cars, it's just gonna upset my whole little business plan with my insurance. I'm scared of cars. I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna say I don't run them, but I just don't like the liability. Yeah. Hey, third gen all the way. Only thing with third gen that you're gonna really be lacking is an engine brake. And with a couple of dollars, you can put an engine brake on the truck that works off of a flap on the back of the turbo, or you can change the whole turbo out and go variable geometry if you wanted to. That's expensive. That's more expensive. And I don't recommend it because it's just something else to go out. But yeah, you can most definitely put a pack brake on that thing and make it do all that shit. But like I say, we're not racing. We ain't out here to impress nobody. Shit like that gonna come, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just as sure as you stay in it to win it, you keep your overhead low, you might go decide to go get you a 2020 and have 50% of the money to give them on it and take a note to build up some credit and yada, 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 but really you ain't concerned about it because you already know how far ahead you are. So, you know, like I said, keeping that cost down. So okay, the third gen short. I'm pulling heavy stuff on the clutch, truck idling, it coasted up the mountain, let the clutch out. Hey man, it's an up and down seesaw coasting with this fuel mileage. I'm out there actively with this manual searching for this fuel mileage in this truck that I know is there. So you know what I'm saying? That's another thing to look out for. Like if you can find a manual truck and you can drive a manual well, it may not be the truck that expands your company because it's hard to find somebody that can drive a manual well when you get putting people in the truck. That was one of my problems. But that truck will serve you much better in the long run than a truck with an automatic because worst case scenario, you burn the clutch up in it. Factory Dodge clutch costs $300, y'all. Mine got a South Bend. There's a single disc organic in it. They put it in there. I ain't put that in there. But at the same time, That clutch don't cost that much. That transmission gonna cost $3,000 to $6,000 to get rebuilt if it's an automatic. So that's something you look at in your total cost of ownership, because there is a probable chance, depending on what kind of truck you get, there's gonna be certain issues that are inherent to these trucks. And I'm talking a lot about Dodges right now, just because that truck has been real good to me. But if you like Fords, stay away from the 6.4. But hey, if you want a bulletproof of 6.0 and come out here and do it, hey man, more power to you, because I've seen them run. I've seen them run, pull the weight, and look good doing it. Those some sexy trucks. But at the same time, it ain't all about sex appeal, like I say, and these trucks gonna have to be a source of income that's gonna survive the ups and the downs. So you're gonna want to make the investment as low as possible, so it doesn't bother you if you don't make money. And that's why I say I go back and I digress to what I said from the beginning of my channel. You know what I'm saying, about how I got started and what type of equipment I had, and the fact that I ain't had my ass on a hater. Because what I did was, I did that for a reason, because it left me a cushion. Thumbs up if you know that fucking around out here, hey man, you need a cushion. You need to maintain a cushion. Did somebody teach you the game when you first started, or do you learn on your own? I researched every last thing I'm doing right now on my own. I was working on Mercedes for a whole year up under the hood every day, contemplating and Googling and saving and putting back and seeing the loopholes in the whole non-CDL game and peeping the equipment and what I really wanted, what I was trying to do, how much money I thought I could make doing it, and the research and the paperwork and all that. Ain't nobody hold my hand in no pause of it. That's why I be trying to give y'all the game, because I bought this sense, y'all. I spent my money, I bought this sense, and get what? I done got fucked before. It gonna happen, because you kind of knew, but the way I think about stuff, every move I make is completely calculated, but at the same time, I'm always a worst case scenario type of person. So I'm like, if this doesn't work, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now if the truck hadn't worked in the first 3 to 4 months? I knew the truck and the trailer were paid for selling that shit. Because I knew that third-gen Dodges, thumbs up if you know this, they don't go down in value. The $14K I spent on that truck, I can get the same $14K out of that truck right now with over 400,000 miles on that truck. It ain't got no blow-by, clutch still tight, because I float. I don't use the clutch when I was driving that truck. I use the clutch from the stop sign on. That clutch ain't never got hot in that truck. And I ran 80 miles an hour up the hill in Columbia, up there in Washington State, when I was dumb and getting out here first of all and trying to see what the truck would do. Yeah, that truck would pull 23,000 pound gross up the side of 7% incline at 80 miles an hour in 6th gear, hollering up that bitch with them 373s. It will do that. And it ain't no problem. Trust me, it'll do that. I don't know if it'll do it with an automatic, but I know with a manual, when it grip, it ain't no slip. And that coming, it hold. I mean, it hold the pressure. I'm sorry, y'all say what y'all want. It holds the pressure. And some stuff that you just can't do for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I done did it. For real, I've done it. I really have done it, y'all. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in 6th gear running 75, 80 miles an hour, 2,300 RPM, all the way across Arizona and Nevada. Straight the whole time, pull over and get back in and run the whole 10 hours and 43, 44 minutes, 10 hours, 55 minutes. That's how I used to run, y'all. It was serious. Because I'm trying to get done that day, because it's time over everything. You know what I'm saying? I love that y'all up in here, man. Hey, one thing I will say, if you new to the channel, and you see what's going on, and you know one thing, I'm really trying to help y'all, man, because this stuff right here, this ain't what they doing right now. They entertaining like a motherfucker, but they really ain't helping. Some of them hurting you. But, man, hit the subscribe button, and, man, just check out some of the videos. They might not be the best video quality, because I ain't got no studio. That ain't what I'm doing. I ain't no studio trucker. I am a real live hotshot trucker, and about how you gonna come out here and with this low cost operation, what age operation, I be just saying low overhead, but the same thing. Low overhead, again, how I built this company to be what it is. Well, I built this company to be what it is. Bless y'all with it, man, because it's gonna help you. I'm telling you, because 18, I was not a fool. I did not think that shit was kaboom the best and this is gonna be like this. This is what trucking is. No, that ain't what trucking was. That was a very, very, very inflated market due to some very, very, very specific reasons. As right now, gonna be a lot of folks jumping the game. They're gonna get a very high overhead going, a very high piece of bills and everything lined up, and it's gonna be totally supported. And HT Logistics came and brought a quote that Warren Buffett had to my attention. You know, I had seen it before, read and everything, but it really applies here, man. Like Warren Buffett said, when the tide is up, you can't tell who's swimming naked. Now I gotta take that pay for HT Logistics because he brought it back to my attention because you know it's basically what I've been saying all the time, man. This is a game. Listen to me, y'all. Thumbs up if you know there's a whole lot of high class pimping going on in this trucking game. Thumbs up if you know you don't want to be the hoe. You don't want to put yourself in a position to be the hoe. Thumbs up if you know that. There's a whole lot of high class pimping going on. And it's all based up on word game, paper game, shit like that. See. What you don't know gonna fuck y'all so bad that without that cushion I would tell you about, you might not make it. That's why my channel here. Cause I want to see you make it. Because it's certain stuff. It's certain stuff you ain't gonna find out on YouTube unless you hear from some people that have been through it for real and they ain't just playing the game. You know what I'm saying? High shot trucking, real trucking. If you know what I'm talking about, you know I'm telling the truth. Your overhead gonna be felt all the way down that profit and loss sheet, all the way to the bottom to your net profit. And when your net profit ain't looking right, hey, get what? The stress level, all this shit go up. That's why you see people putting up video, man. I really want to quit high shotting. I'm done quitting. I'm quitting trucking. Oh man, I'm tired of this stuff. Hey, I got my CDL. I came over here to the company. They ain't treating me right. I'm out of trucking because of what you didn't know. And you can't fault a person for not knowing, but in the information age and what we living in, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to excuse the ignorance that some people around here exhibiting and making it look glamorous, you know what I'm saying, when indeed it is a road to bankruptcy. It's a road to financial despair, fiduciary hardship. Run tell that. So, like I said, I wasn't no fool in 18. I didn't say, man, I just made what I made. Came out in August, September, October, November, December, January, February. By February, I had grossed 100K, y'all, with that little bit of truck. I had grossed 100K. I didn't get to keep it all because remember, I had to pay myself back for the truck. And I had a partner with me. We went half on the trailer now. I had to pay him back for the trailer because he decided he didn't really want to do it no more because it was some serious struggles, man. That's why I tell y'all about these tires, them 10-ply tires, fuck them tires. We changed tires in 6 months, a whole set twice. You know what I'm saying? And you learn. And then we started cracking rims, 16-inch rims. We learned the one with the slices in it, they crack easier than the ones with the holes in it. So we upgraded to the ones with the holes in it, and we found out they crack around the edge of where the whole thing is welded together. So that's why I got these heavy-ass 17 plies and 16 plies, 17.5 on these trailers now, 8K axle and shit. We learned a lot of stuff, thought a lot of sense. Because they're not going to tell you when they sell you this trailer that these axles there for 7K. They need to really be broken down and re-greased and packed and sealed and everything every 25, 30,000 miles because they really ain't 100% meant for what we do. But you at least need to tend to them if you don't do nothing but pump some grease on them. They not really going to just babysit that fact because they know they sold you something that more than likely you're going to tweak that axle and need another axle pretty soon because it's going to lose the arch the first time you put the actual gross that you're going to put on that trailer on there. That tire will never stand up straight again. It'll have a slight camber to it. And they know over time you're going to wear out so many tires, you're going to come back and eventually buy another axle. You feel me? Because you're going to get tired of replacing tires for irregular wear and stuff. You're going to be like, man, I don't know if it's the bushings under there or what. Now the axle done lost the arch and now you got tires that lean in. Simple. So, like I said, we learned all that shit. So I had to pay myself back, all that paperwork. I promise you, y'all, it $3,000-$4,000 in just paperwork. No, I say $5,000. Paperwork, insurance, Registration on the truck, registration on the trailer, taxes on the trailer because it was bought cash. And when we came over here and we registered in Texas, we did the token tag and they took taxes off on that. So it was like a little just load ready and ready to pull out of there. That was like another 5K with insurance, paperwork, all that BOC3, UCR, all that old crazy stuff because I started my own authority. Hey, yeah, Victory Lab, man. You know my cash app is $JBUTLER357. Just drop your name in the 4 line because I did a real good one this morning with a person, man. He talking about the one-on-one consultation, man. And like I said, my opinion is not rock solid set in stone. I think your opinion should be the best opinion because you know your situation. But what I do in the one-on-one consultation is sort of help, a lot of time it confirm what you thinking already, but it's so much stuff clouding what really should be the main thing you getting, which is factual, good information as far as business-wise and this stuff that'll throw you off and have you second guessing yourself and man, I don't know about this equipment. They telling me I need 40 feet to be profitable and I don't know what to do and stuff like that. Man, I got this stuff set up like so-and-so, man. I don't really see how it gonna make money, but I think they making money, so I'm gonna try it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, King Gorilla, hey, hit the subscribe button, bro. It's all love over here. Hey, man. Yeah, hey, yeah, it's $40, bro. Cause like I said, I ain't tripping. Factor, I ain't charging enough for some time, and I ain't even tripping by the hour. Cause we go over a lot, man. I be an hour 20, hour 40 minutes sometimes. I ain't charging nobody no extra money than them, but at the same time, I'm like this. If it's a real person, yeah, let me get your cash out, Jay. AJT, yeah. I'm sending your cash out when I get out the live, bro. So I wasn't no fool at 18. I come out 19. Y'all know, basically 19 was garbage across the board for a lot of people. 19 wasn't bad for me because this where it comes in the fact that where you knowing what's really going on and you being willing to adapt to what's going on really pays off. And that's why I stress the stacking the partials. Don't worry about what them folks talking about, y'all. Hey, for real though. If you could put 12 feet, 4,000 pounds on that non-CDL high shot for $1.20, and you could put 14 feet, 3,000 pounds on that high shot for $1.20, and you could put another 10 feet, 4,000 pounds, and you right at 9,000 pounds, you finna get out of there on that non-CDL high shot for $1.20. If that shit going in a row, man, calculate the mile, divide by what's going on there, you'll see you well over $2 a mile. It ain't no stressing factor. You just got to be able to coordinate what's going on in your area or what you need to get done. And that's what we try and do. $1,000 a day, that's a good ass number. That's the number I've been screaming since the channel started, man. And it's to the point where a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, $1,000 a day, it don't matter what kind of equipment you in. If your cost of operation low, $1,000 a day is good money. Shout out if you know any job pay $1,000 a day. That we try and profit every day if possible, at least gross it. But shout out if you got a job that pay $1,000 a day for tax. Shit, that's hard to find. So, that's why I say people make it real complicated, real hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my number too, all my. That's been my number since I started the channel. Even when I was just starting out, my goal was $1,000 a day. Because, I got to drop that philosophy on y'all one more time. I know y'all might not have caught this in another live, but I got a philosophy about that money, y'all. And it's about the gross. It ain't about the net. But 1,000 move for $1,000 equal $1 million growth. One more time with y'all. 1,000 move. Break out your calculator, baby. 1,000 move for $1,000. You gross $1 million. Now, the only question is how long it's gonna take you to do it. How hard you gonna hustle? How hard you willing to run? What you willing to take to make that number be your actual reality? What you actually able to piece together that might not be but $400-500, but you got 3 of them on there and they going the same way. You made you 1,600 in 24 hours. I think that mission accomplished. But at the same time, listen to me good. This shit ain't complicated at all. And if you want to break it down even further, we'll say 500 move $500 for 2,000 move. 2,000 move, $500 $1,000,000. It's all about how long it take you to do it and what kind of stress you under while you doing it, which gonna make you either stay in it or you gonna start putting up whole ass video talking about, man, I'm ready to quit hot shot. This shit too hard, man. I don't like this no more. You don't feel good, man. Every time they want us to move, man, $1.40 a mile and all this diesel and man, these folks taking their money for enterprise and man, I don't know how us is gonna make it. I don't think us is gonna make it that long. That's the problem. That's the problem. If you understand what's going on right now, you'll know you don't need to borrow no money unless you really, 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 really got to. If you know what's going on right now, you know you don't need to go buy no brand new truck. If you're going to buy a truck, buy your used truck. If you really know what's going on right now, you know when you go buy that used truck, you ain't going to buy nobody project truck that they lifted, did nothing else to. You want a factory stock truck that got low miles on it, low use and abuse, and probably pre-emission. If you really know what's going on, you know, don't nobody know what's going on for real, but I can read the trend and get what? It's some money being made around here. Money being made around here. It's money being made around here. It's money being made everywhere. And see what the problem is, folks don't understand that with the timing of everything that you got to really put together to make this stuff succeed when it's some money being made around here, require you already in play, not to be putting it together, but to have it ready in the form of some bread. See, I ran back and forth and found ways to get people to get them some money so they can get ready and go and put your stuff together. But one thing about it, having a truck that's ready and having a truck load ready is two different things. See videos about everything wrong with your truck and all that because the truck ain't load ready. I'm going to say this, you can't buy a pickup truck that's used and hook it to a trailer the same day and put the max capacity weight on that truck and think nothing's gonna happen. Give me a thumbs up if you know somebody got rid of that truck for some reason. They ain't getting trucks away. Motherfuckers just ain't throwing trucks away. They ain't putting them in the dumpster and reach. No, these folks putting these trucks on these lots, the dealer, the private seller. These folks putting the truck on the lot because either they got something better or their truck got a slight problem or they just can't afford it no more. They going out of business. You might catch a GM in there where it ain't no problem whatsoever, but you really need to go over the truck. Because not only is it a money factor, it's a safety factor. Thumbs up if you know these other folk handiwork will kill your ass on that road. Thumbs up if you know that. Every mechanic ain't a good mechanic. Every shop that modify trucks don't know what the fuck they doing. I done put together a lot of cars when I was in the street, came through on every side rim they got except 30s. That's the only rims I ain't had. With 30, I put together a lot of shit. Build my own motor and everything. Had to go through the sick transmission, man, to find one that could build one that was holding the power that LT1 was putting out with that hot cam LT4 in it. I went through 9 transmission and 4 transmission, man. Because guess what? Everybody look like they know what they doing. They don't know what they doing. Everybody got a building that say did what we do. They don't know what they doing. So it gets to the point where when you get to buying stuff that done been worked on, changed, and modified, you got to deal with whatever type of job them folk did. For real. I'm just being honest now. This some real shit. I deal with that now because the truck I bought, I'm talking about me. Fuck the other folks. I'm talking about me. I want this shit personal. We talk about me. I bought that truck, that white truck that got them Ford Autos on it right now. I bought up on that contract because guess what? Fuck a hater. That truck been good to me. And guess what? Probably finna put it in semi-retirement, but guess what? Before I did, I put 5 bands on the ground. Fuck them. I got some money. I ain't even talking about what they talking about because I know how to work and save, and I ain't giving my money to every bank and every credit loan lender in the world. I'm going to put my money up. I boat up when I get motherfucking ready. But guess what? That beside the point. That truck came on 20-inch rims. Mistake. Yeah, mistake. Hell of a deal on the truck. It wasn't deleted or nothing like that. That truck came on 20-inch rim with a 2.5-inch rough country leveling kit on it. Big mistake. I'm telling you when I was wrong. And guess what? It wasn't the craziest thing I could have had. That could have been done to the truck, but it did affect that truck. That non-stock stuff and that components and stuff that were put on by whoever did it, I wish I could get all of it off and put my factory stuff back on, but I almost don't know what's missing. It's kind of like I could figure it out. I could figure it out, but I really don't even want to. And then the truck, I ended up putting some 22s on it one time. Then I went back to factory. I sold them rims right there because somebody couldn't stand to see me have them. They were clean. And they wanted to buy them, so I sold them to them. Every month over time over everything. So then I come back and put the 22, 35 by 12 and a half, 22 tires and rims on there, 12 apply for the weight and everything. But that lift on that truck, if you don't have an adjustable panhard bar on that front axle of that truck is not aligned under that truck like it's supposed to be. Hence why I burned my arm on a drive shaft that U-joints prematurely failed because the angle ain't right. It rides, it was smooth. You never know the angle wasn't right until it tears the U-joint up. That angle was just a little bit out because that front axle wasn't quite centered under that truck. Since then, I have put an adjustable panhard bar under there, centered the front axle, put the drive shaft back together, and did all that stuff with my arm still like this. Once again, I ain't no hoe. But at the same time, that's beside the point. That would be considered an error on my part because with the nose of that truck being 2.5 inches higher in the air, who knows that? Who knows more about aerodynamics than the man that buying fuel every day? Don't nobody know no more about aerodynamics than the man that really buying fuel every day. Knowing that truck is 2.5 inches higher than it's supposed to be on the front, and that truck is basically a brick wall, just like a Ford is basically a brick wall, just like a Denali is basically a brick wall, it impacts the fuel economy on that truck, y'all. And it's slight. But when you think about the fact that you may run 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles, possibly 200,000 miles this year, that slight change in fuel economy will cost you thousands. It's going to cost you thousands. Just because that truck got a little 2.5 inch lift on. Now, what do you think going to happen when you get a truck that has maybe a 4 to 6 inch lift and arms and all that stuff up under there done? I think day one, you should get that truck and re-torque every damn bolt under there. I did it. I swear to God. When I seen the kind of work that was under that truck, I ain't gonna say it looked bad, but I was like, I need to go over this shit. Before I started even driving that truck, I came and put that truck on 4 jack stands, and I went under there on the front suspension and tightened up everything, and I didn't find anything just loose or nothing like that. But it's just a precaution because at the end of the day, you got one life. You got one life. That's why I kind of spazzed out the other time by folk playing with my health. You ain't gonna live but one time. Shout out and thumbs up if you know you ain't gonna get no extra man. This is not Super Mario. This is not a game. This shit real. This shit about you coming home. And that's the objective of everything, to get out here, get some money in an efficient manner and get your ass back to the house. So you can enjoy some of that money. And if you got a low cost operation, you can actually see some of that money. For real. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, all through 19, I kept the low cost operation, the low overhead theme going because I figured out, hey, that works. And this 2019 climate ain't what the 2018 climate was as far as low, so I gotta adapt. So what can I do to help myself? Well, I know I had some good luck in a couple of places. I'm keeping tabs on where I'm running these loads at, and it's kind of paying. Started putting that together. Then I realized some of the loads I was running look like they kind of overlapping each other, and they going the same way. And I got a little room on the trailer. If I manage my time a little bit better, I think I can get both of those. Game changer. I figured that out in December, right before it went down. And the race was still high. And it was some days I was having $4 and $5 a mile on my trailer, y'all. And it was feeling lovely. And then the bottom fell out the bitch, and I still had like $2.50, $3 on the trailer. You can make it. You can make it. Hey, you can make it. You can make it. I'm just saying. Even if they say, man, we paying $1 a mile, and you finna go 800 miles, and we need 10 feet of your trailer. Well, by golly, let's do it. I ain't tripping. I ain't finna argue with y'all. I know the rate down is fucked up right now. I'm not gonna argue with y'all. Y'all get them 10 feet for $1 a mile and scoot that shit all the way to the front, please. Meanwhile, hey, we try and get 10, 15, 20 more feet. We got 35-foot trailer, so we got 25 feet left and probably like 7,000 pounds. And get what? I just told them when I agreed to do that shit for a fuck number that I'm not finna have it there tomorrow. I'm gonna let you know now. I'm picking it up on a Monday. We gonna get it there Wednesday or Thursday, however y'all want it. Y'all want it Wednesday or Thursday. Them the two choices. Okay, well, it can go there Thursday. Well, thank you. Did a little 1,000 pound, 10 feet for $1 that going across there. I'm finna clown my ass off on the way over there. I'm gonna sit in that first spot if I'm in a good market for that to the next day and see what bring me before I even leave, because I know I ain't in no rush. All I know is by the time I get over there, the time versus what I put into it, it need to be worth it. And get what? With your low cost operation, I'm gonna tell you this. You can fuck around and roll out with that load Tuesday morning, couldn't find nothing. Wednesday morning, let's say you going from Georgia to Oklahoma. Wednesday morning, you in Nashville. And for some reason, man, I can't really find shit in Nashville. Get what? And you still can't find nothing. You ease on over there reluctantly to Oklahoma, man. I'm talking about you really feeling shame of yourself. You got that dollar on here, you done went all the way across there. And you drop out in Oklahoma. Get what? Shit happens sometimes, especially when you ain't just used to coordinating and moving that fast and really linking it up. It's gonna happen until you get better at it. But at the same time, get what you just did with that low cost operation and found out the fact that your truck don't cost you but about 64 cents, 70 cents to run. Even though you really ain't made no profit, you made 30 cents a mile. You made about $300 run over there. It feel bad as hell. But guess what? You didn't lose money. Guess who lost money? Them folks that got them high price bills and really, really, really needed that other load to make this shit make sense. Like, it don't make sense. But for you, it still makes sense. And if you understand what I'm saying, you understand how a lot of folks made it when a lot of folks didn't make it. For real. And like I say, with that being said, it's a lot that goes into just trying to keep those overhead costs down. And one of the big things that goes into it is not being a damn fool. Actually sit down and do the math on some stuff before you sign your rent some, lease some, whatever they call that shit. Read it, put it together, and see what they're gonna do to you. And don't look on right now as to gauge whether you can afford something or not. You need to look at what you've been doing and what been going on. Look back at the worst of time and see if this shit happen again the way it did. Hey, can I still afford this? Something to think about now. Because like I said, what's going on right now, there's some balling ass shit going on. Do not be fooled. They're gonna keep going for a while. There's some people gonna go ahead and figure out that they need to go buy a truck and own something so they see some money. Then they're gonna realize the shit they've been running from all these years while they been renting shit, the maintenance, yeah, the overhead, yeah, getting that truck load ready, yeah, putting all them parts on there that you need to put on there, getting your ball and all that. You already know you gotta do all that, but at the same time, the type of trouble you running in when you dealing with somebody else's project, yeah, you get that. You know what I'm saying? Then you realize that, hey man, as opposed to just a normal everyday work truck, this thing is actually costing more money to operate every mile than it actually should. Like on paper, if I look at the stock spec sheet, this thing supposed to pull this much weight, get this much MPG, but no, you done fuck with it. You done mess with it. So now you outside of factory parameters to the point where that don't apply no more. That MPG gauge in that truck, that ain't right no more. That odometer in that truck, if you buy a truck that got rims on it already and they oversized, just know those miles on that truck ain't right. If it say 100,000 miles on that truck, those wheels turn slower. Those wheels move more area than the factory programmed in that algorithm. So that mileage ain't right now. If that truck say it got 60,000 miles on it and it got oversized tires on it, lift and all that stuff, that mileage ain't right. You got to calculate the overage as a percentage of the increase of tire diameter divided by the radius. I just look like this. I ain't no damn fool, y'all, to the point where that truck that say it got 100,000 miles on it, truck probably got about 139,000 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? Probably got about 139,000 miles on it. You can't trust that. That's not real numbers. Then you got to go in the fact that how long did they have the rims on there? I know some folk got their truck and made it look pretty. I'm talking about day one, 0 mile. Truck been like that since it been a truck. You know, so that's stuff that you don't know that you gonna want to avoid by not buying something that's kind of odd. Because I'm gonna speak up on this. When it's time to grow the fleet, scale it up, you really get in this shit and you know what it is, you're gonna start to standardize some equipment. That's some good. When building a fleet, composing the fleet, one of the most advantageous things you can do is find something, piece of equipment that's trustworthy, reliable. You can learn every single intricacy about that piece of equipment. Find out how to make that equipment the most profitable it can be for you, and duplicate the shit over and 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 over. Don't flip the script. Stick to the script. That's how you build a fleet. You figure out what worked before you start buying all them other trucks. You get a customer base before you start buying all them other trucks. You figure out if this shit really is what it is and get you 2-3 years up under your authority before you start just going crazy with this shit. Because one thing about it, you got to know an inflated market from a regular market, from a deflated market, a buy market on Detroit. You got to know the difference. And the only way you can know the difference is with time and studying this stuff as it comes out, not what they tell you. See, once you get to doing this shit for a while, your emails will tell you if you cooking with some gas or not. Your personal company email. After you did this for a while, your personal company email will tell you if you cooking with gas or not. Because not only they gonna be approaching you with loads for stuff you can do, they're gonna try and make you do bigger stuff and better stuff. They're gonna have numbers up there that you wouldn't believe possible right now. And that's because they need help. These folks need help. But they don't need no help from somebody that can't get the load there. And that's why I said with these used trucks, it's a lot that go in there. But the biggest thing is gonna be is the cost of operation and keeping that low overhead. So like I said, if you're gonna come out and you confident that you can find a mechanic before you start, let's back up. Let's back up. Hold up. Cause I take it for granted that I work on all my own stuff, y'all. See, I'm a mechanic, versatile, from everything from a John Deere farm tractor all the way up to an S550 Mercedes. I got the computers up in there to touch that shit. Like I got to start diagnosing scanner up in there that's got like an $1,800 license update every year on that motherfucker just to keep it current. It's currently 47 modules in the new service in one of these cars. So I do my own work and it's been a blessing from God. But the first thing you're going to have to do when you start even looking into doing this is find that you can trust that does good work and it's right there by your house. Thumbs up if you know Mechanic, one of the most unsung heroes in the game. Thumbs up if you know the diesel mechanic, the dude that gonna fix that broke airline on your truck, that dude that put them brakes on your truck last week, that guy that be changing your oil and washing your truck. That one of the most unsung heroes in the game. Thumbs up if you know that motherfucker is much needed and underappreciated until you got a problem. Hey, on God, bro. Like I said, that's one of the most underappreciated members of the team. And he is indeed a member of the team. And when you find him or her and he doing good work, she doing good work, you pay them right, don't cross no word with them, and you take your truck to them regardless of the situation, make sure you have that money right. For real, they coming from a mechanic. Have that money right, And just know sometimes it take more than you think to get a job done because you run into obstacles. Some problems are more complex and you will be charged accordingly. But at the same time, find you a good reputable mechanic in your area, preferably one that'll get that goddamn problem off your truck. Get that shit up off it. Hey, find you one that deal with that, get that motherfucker problem off that truck. Even if you had to run that truck for a year and throw it in the garbage behind that shit. When it come time out of that warranty and yada yada yada, that's why I said buy pre that shit. Don't. If you coming out betting the house on everything, you want some reliability, you want to take that out of the equation. Cause that right there is a money pit motherfucking problem, y'all. Ooh, y'all, thumbs up if you know the system on that diesel, that you know what I'm talking about. That is a problem. They ain't got it right yet, y'all. They ain't got it right yet. They just ain't. That '06 out there gonna be kicking and shitting when a whole lot of them ain't kicking and shitting no more. I promise you, y'all, they ain't got it right. Until they get like GM and put that ninth injector in that pipe, that's a good idea. I like that because it don't wash the rings, it don't wash the motor with diesel. I like the way Chevy did that with that LB7 and that LB9 and that Duramax included with that ninth injector. I think Cummins should do the seventh injector. And I'm just saying, Cummins, if you're listening, convert that bullshit over to a seventh injector and drop that diesel that we wasting at the truck stop at night. Put that shit straight in the pipe and let it catch on fire, man. Get that shit hot and let that thing get hot and drop that diesel straight up in there and burn that shit out, man. Don't have me sitting my truck up there running 45, 55 minutes doing a regen, burn up all this diesel while you helping the environment by putting all these other shit crazy. Like, okay, I understand it's less emissions coming out, but I'm burning more diesel, which require you to suck more oil out of the ground, which is contributing factor to the whole global warming situation anyway, with the smog, that unregulated mining and oil drilling and the chemicals that get wasted on the ground, the extra oil they be losing, all that shit to keep me from making some black smoke that the heavy particulate matter is gonna fall to the ground anyway. Screw y'all. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that, but ain't nothing you can do about it. It's on there. But if you could buy a truck that doesn't have that on there already, and I ain't talking about the up-to-date, already deleted truck, don't do it. Don't do it. If you gonna I spy the red eye and go to Mexico and make all them parts fall off, do it yourself. I'm just saying, because you don't know what tune is in that truck. And most time these tuners, you know what I'm saying, they ain't the best, you know what I'm saying, as far as the program, the off idle and all that, when pulling weight. I'm gonna say that. You can make anything feel peppy and good and run like a motherfucker without a trailer on it. But how does that truck cope with thermal loads? How does that truck transmission cope with the added torque and all that shit will come into play when you strap that gooseneck behind and put 10,000 on that trailer? Thumbs up if you know that truck is not the same truck when you got a trailer on it when you don't got a trailer on it. Thumbs up. That's a whole nother vehicle. That's a whole nother animal. That's why you in combination. You are in combination. That's a whole nother animal. So, like I said, you can't trust what they talking about when they say, man, hey man, I always got it tuned. I deleted it and everything, man. That thing makes so much horsepower and torque, and man, the gas mileage up through the ceiling, man. I'm getting 26, and you ain't pulling no trailer. They ain't pulling no trailer. They might show you 28 miles to gallon up in there. And they been easing it on the race setting, put it back down on the other setting, and, put a little stress in the motor every now and then. But at the same time, run the thermo up. They ain't really got no EGR temp, exhaust gas temperature gauge hooked up, so they don't really know that they about to burn a piston up in there every once in a while when they turn it on race and just, just roll a little cold. We ain't just gonna do everything. We gonna roll just a little cold. Yeah, but at the same time, it's a kneeling bearings and all type of shit in the truck. So when it comes to that delete shit, if you're gonna do it, hey man, that's your business. But don't buy one that's already like that. Don't do that, because you don't really know the parameters that have been flashed in the computer and the transmission. Also, that could possibly cause an engine failure once you put the stress of weight behind this truck. So all these projects, the shit they done modified, and I'll get a regular run of the mill truck. Unless you going old Ford 6.0, they done bulletproofed it and it got studs in it already and all that there, that may be a worthwhile investment. And it still depends on who did the work. Like all this stuff still depends on you trusting that the paperwork that coming with this stuff actually came from somebody that really do this. I ain't talking about they do. They do that over there. Nah, I'm talking about them motherfuckers do it over there at such and such and such and such. Now you want to bulletproof to this thing, and man, this truck comes from Power Stroke help up there in the Northeast, and man, this truck got Mishimoto radiators and bypass filter for the oil and the cooling, and oh man, got Mishimoto this and heavy duty water pump that cooling this and everything brand new on that and studs and everything been girdled up and yeah, okay, well, I understand that. That what you want type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, paperwork don't mean nothing. It's about that work. It's about the work that the quality of the work that been done. So why take that chance? We try and drop the risk level. We try and drop the overhead because get what? All that stuff you don't know about the history of that modified truck will bite you in your ass. And one of the biggest things that it contributed to in the total cost of ownership is accelerated maintenance interval, people. Don't nobody talk about this. When you buy the dually and you go get the big rig rim trying to save some gas, and you put the 22 fives on there, that shit's so sexy. Ooh, boy, but that motherfucker shit burn some gas. That shit fuck up the hub bearing. That shit fuck up that front end of that truck. That shit overwork the power steering system. You can't turn on a dime from a standstill. You just about gotta let that truck roll to be able to even turn that steering wheel. And you probably gonna need stabilizers, steering stabilizers installed on that truck. Cause that tire is so heavy, once it drops off and hits the pothole, that truck will get away from your ass. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about that. Can you balance that? You know what I'm saying? Can you balance that rim and tire combination to work out on that dually effectively where this shit don't run like trash whenever you hit 65 miles an hour? And it's shaking the truck apart. It's overworking bearings. It's overworking ball joints. It's overworking control arm bushings. It's overworking everything because the unsprung weight that you've introduced into the system is a little bit above what the factory was designed to handle. You know what I'm saying? So everything gonna be accelerated. Hubs and all that shit is going. It's gonna go faster. So that contributes to your total cost of ownership. Your overhead rises. Your low overhead budget type mentality is slowly easing out of your grip because this truck finna start to eat you out of house and home by the time you get your first 40, 50,000 miles personally on the truck. All this stuff gonna come out. And it's fact that you're gonna check the transmission fluid and this truck is not really due to be changed for another 20,000 miles and you see that shit is starting to get black. It's time to get it out of there because you put more of a load on everything. Oil change intervals drop. Victory Lab, my opinion, Cummins only. Henry cannot handle the load overall. I completely agree. I have had people, I know people that got a 1,500, a 2,500, and I know somebody with a 3,500 died with a Hemi in it. I'ma say this. Them Hemi boy might get mad about this, but I'ma say this. I'ma say this. Don't get mad at me, y'all. Mechanically, that is not enough engine. On sure mechanics, I don't care nothing about the horsepower number. I don't care nothing about the torque number. None of that shit, because it don't matter. Because those numbers are produced at the wrong RPM to do what we trying to do. That engine cannot pull as low as a diesel and still maintain knock sensitivity. See, this is the problem with dealing with gas engines. We combust the fuel with pressure without a spark. Gas is highly volatile. Diesel is not. I can light my Black and Mild and have it lit and drop it in my auxiliary tank, nothing will happen. Thumbs up if you know I could put a lit match in my auxiliary diesel tank, drop it in there, nothing will happen. It will go out. We're going to get a little bit in depth. That shit going to go out because diesel is flammable, but the combustibility of diesel is not even half of what gas is. Therefore, in a low RPM situation, in a high heat environment of that cylinder, what you're going to be trying to fight the most is spraying the gas into the cylinder past the intake valve, getting it in there, and the gas actually waiting until the spark happens to combust. You're going to get what's called pre-ignition or engine knock. Thumbs up if you know anything about an engine. You know engine knock in a gas engine will kill it faster than anything else. Detonation, pre-ignition, engine knock, that shit beats the bearings and crankshaft to death. Thumbs up if you know that. So that's why you have camshaft profile in gasoline motors to produce peak power up in the 35, 45, 5,500 RPM range, because that is a high RPM, low load situation. The only way you can get that engine to spin up that high and really produce the power it's supposed to do is if it's a high RPM, low load situation. Well, what we're doing requires a whole lot of low RPM, high load driving. Mechanically, that is not enough engine. Mechanically, because I'm going to tell you this. To pull that kind of weight consistently, to move that truck the way a diesel engine would, you would have to put that engine into its power curve. Like I said, the torque will probably be in at 2,500, all in on horsepower around 5,000 or 4,500 since it's a truck engine. But to get those 450 foot-pounds of torque at 2,500, which is a good number, to carry into the 52-52 divide where horsepower turns, when torque turns into horsepower and it takes off, you have to have momentum inertia on the crankshaft. That means you got to be able to spin this crankshaft up with enough speed to get into that RPM. Tell me why you can't do that with 20,000 pounds behind you. Because it won't let you. So now you got the motor struggling and fighting around peak torque. Now, peak torque is about 2,000, 2,500 RPM. Thumbs up if you know at peak torque, you're getting the most cylinder pressure, you're getting the most abuse, the most everything that you could be putting on this engine at peak torque RPM, and you loading it heavy. This is giving it all she's got, Cap. Thumbs up if you know that. So, when that detonation occurs and that load is really fighting that engine, the transmission giving it all it's got, it's grabbing, and you really pulling that heel at 2,500 RPM, and that engine temperature starts to rise, the combustion chamber temperature starts to rise, the computer will start to pull timing from the motor, which is also power. You're going to start losing power because the motor is getting physically too hot to keep that spray of fuel from going into the cylinder and going kaboom before time. So you got fuel coming in the cylinder, and before the piston can even get up to go boom, when it gets almost all the way up, it go boom and knock it back against itself, and the motor still gonna bring it back up and fight and go back around. You just crushed the oil film on the control rod bearing. On the connector rod bearing, I'm sorry. The connector rod bearing on the big end where it goes onto the crankshaft has maybe a 2,000, 3,000 of an inch oil clearance right there, depending on what engine it is, and that oil film occupies that clearance. When you smashed that piston back down in detonation, you broke that film, the bearing touched the crankshaft, you started a process that cannot be reversed. That motor is doomed to fail. And the biggest problem with that is The connecting rod size, not how fat it is, not how strong it is, but at the big end, the width of it, the bearing that sits in the connecting rod is about this wide. Now, if you know about transferring load and weight, the more surface area you have, the more weight you can bear on that oil film. Shout out to Cummins for that. Because that bottom on that Cummins connecting rod where that bearing goes in is about this wide, y'all. That connecting rod bearing is surfing on a lot more oil than that connecting rod bearing on here, which leads us to the best point of them all. Diesels don't require a spark. And direct injection, that's so prevalent on new car engines and all this. This shit's been pioneered in diesel engines since the 20th century started. These either mechanical or electrical direct injection, meaning that injector injects fuel directly into the combustion chamber, so there's no room in the intake where that fuel charge is sprayed in the intake and it has a chance of pre-detonating, even though diesel don't do that. So, where you're fighting detonation in a gasoline engine to produce any power to do the job while beating it up, the diesel was designed to run off detonation. The hotter that cylinder gets within reason and the timing on the injector pulse, it's going to fire. It's going to fire. It's going to keep firing. And the fact that these components are built so beefy that they are actually designed to take the detonation in proper timing. But yeah, like I say, that's the reason. You know, I'm glad you touched on that because I put a transmission in his Fiat 1500 coming back from California to Hemi, and then he came again. He just put connecting rod bearings, which is not going to solve the problem. You started a process. Once you scar that crankshaft up, that crankshaft needs to be taken out and either ground or polished back to a mirror finish, because you putting a brand new bearing on a scored crankshaft throw is not gonna solve that problem. That shit is like any other bearing. That shit mates together. It really doesn't touch, but the imperfections can break the oil film and start to scratch the new bearing. So it really lost call. I told him he needed to just put a motor in the truck and sell it. Put these rod bearings up in there, and that's why I said about these used truck and sell it. Because man, these folks ain't putting these trucks on the market just because I don't like that truck no more. Nah, most time it's a slight problem with that truck. You gotta investigate that. But yeah, that Titan, somebody just said something about the Titan, and you know what I'm saying, I met up with a guy like 4 weeks ago at the place where I go get the 3-wheel forklifts from. He was pulling with a Titan. He had come out of Texas and everything, and he says he gets good gas mileage on a non-CDL atmosphere. But just be aware that is a Cummins engine, but that is not the same engine now. Hey, Ram is overrated. I can say that. Hey, I can say you pretty much right about that 380 Banshee Hot Shot. Said the Ram is overrated. I can agree with that. There's a lot of these trucks overrated, man, really, for what they cost. For what these motherfuckers cost brand new, all these bitches overrated, bro. Like, you could buy a nice home for the price of a good dually right now. Like, a brand new, yeah. So, you know, I know what you're saying, though, as far as, you know, how I be talking about Rams and stuff like that. I just got a lot of experience with a Cummins. It's easy to work on. And like I say, if you come in pre-dev, even a dummy can keep that truck going. I promise you that, man, a damn fool can keep that truck going. It ain't number some small preventative stuff you do and keep a number 4 injector line in your back pocket. You'll be all right. Yeah, Hot Shot Veteran, man. Hey, I gotta go back and check that video out, Hot Shot Veteran, with that new truck. Boy, your boy said that thing was 77.5. And see, like I said, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can say a Ford overrated, underrated, Ram overrated, underrated, Chevy overrated, underrated. But when you buying a house basically on 4 wheels, all this shit overrated. Oh, you ain't posted it yet? That's why I said I gotta go check it out. You might go and post it, Hot Shot Veteran. I'm interested to see that nice $77,500 truck you got there. That's no bullshit. Cause see, that boy right there, he understands low cost operation where you can go ball the fuck out. You buy what you want to buy when you get your money right, for real, for real. And you know how to do it over and over and over again. And that's the key to everything. Sticking to the script, knowing what works, and knowing how the next thing you gonna do gonna affect your profit margin and everything. Cause see, just like he went and bought a new truck for 775. He got to the point where he drove his old truck and learned the game so well and got his cost of operation down so low that he could afford to go buy a new truck, take on that payment, and his cost of operation for the total thing per mile probably ain't even moved but about 30 cents, 20, 30 cents. He really ain't lost shit. I ain't lost nothing. Got a nice truck, but you got a cushion out there world. You know the game. And like I said, this shit ain't hard. People make this shit look ridiculous, but it ain't hard. Yeah, I mean, shit look ridiculous sometimes, stuff they be trying to get y'all to do and convince people to do. And you know what I'm saying? I really think motherfuckers getting kickbacks and everything because they were pressing it so hard, even though they know they wasn't making no damn money. That what get me about it. You know, hoeing themselves out for a slight kickback or sponsorship or something. Cause if I know damn well I ain't making no money doing something, why I'ma continue advertise, put links up and show you the way to do it and all that, knowing damn well I ain't profiting off of nothing I'm telling you about. Why would I do that? It kind of fuck with your integrity factor a little bit. I got a brand new Ram and love it. Hey man, treat it good, it'll treat you well, King. Hey, that real. Let me see. On 10,000 a month, it cost me 28 cents a mile. Yeah, more than likely, Brandon Dubar, that's probably gonna be fuel and a couple of items broached into that you can really see. But I want to encourage you to look past what you can see on that 28 cent a mile. I think you said 28 cent a mile. Yeah, 28 cent a mile. It costs you 28 cent a mile. Okay. Well, we want to put you in the mindset that cost you about 50 cent a mile, and you count that money you putting up for that maintenance account that I know you got. I know you got that. I know you got that. So 28 cent a mile, that's real good, and that's probably road cost and fuel to look at every single cost, man. For real. Even predict may happen and can't see happen and add another 5 grand to that cost for the year and work it out like that because you'll much rather anticipate these numbers on the high side than the low side. It'll help you a lot. So you like say, I ain't in your business or nothing like that, but the 28, that's an amazing number. But I just think that might not be all expensive per mile. And I ain't gonna dispute you about it, but I'm just saying you might want to look at that because that's an outrageous number. To be honest with you, that number right there is out fucking outrageous. So yeah, 28 cents a mile, y'all. Man, goddamn. Does Cummins have 2 or 3 liter engines? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They got a 4 VT. I think they got a 3 VT. Yeah, they got some engines, man. Oh, okay, that jet fuel. Okay, yeah. 28 cents a mile on jet fuel. To be honest with you, it's all depending on what kind of setup you got. That could be a good number, which I think is a pretty good number, and it also can be a kind of a little off number. So I would suggest that on the 28 cent a mile, even if you're doing, you know what I'm saying, CDL high shot, I encourage you to possibly reach out to some of the high shot veteran fuel 10 cent a mile. That's about like low 10 cent a mile just on fuel. And I'm encouraging people to try and strive to be around the 15 to 20 cent a mile. 20 cent a mile kind of be the limit on that with the non-CDL and CDL high shot, you know, to the point where if it ain't nothing but you might need to just slow down and run 5 mile an hour less or something like that. You need to control that fuel cost. And yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna say for high shot veteran. You might want to approach your pilots, your flying J's, your people that got big volume truck company that may perhaps extend fuel cards to people that run their loads. You got brokers that got fuel cards that'll act like you in the fleet with them, and you can take advantage of those type of discounts. You can reach and grab some of that money out the air and put it back in your pocket, baby. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, 28 cents a mile. I kind of figured that wasn't everything, but just on fuel, we want to trim that down, trim that, try and get that around 18 cents. Try and get you a dime back, bro. See what you gotta do, just work it out, see if you can get you a dime. Cause you know, like I say, a dime on 10,000 miles, like I said, that's $100. And you doing that a month, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna save $1,200 a year just getting rid of that 10 cent, my friend. And that's a little account one-on-one from the Haven for you one time. Just let this shit make all the way sense, bro. Cause like they say, that's a good number. But we gonna strive to get better at everything we do every day. And that's why I be coming with these videos. I want to help y'all get better. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying so you can be like me, but I'm just saying so you can be the best you can be. You feel me? Cause everybody gonna hustle this shit different. I ain't don't know. Don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't do it like Mr. Rick James. Boy, Stride Transport. There it is. Any recommendation on fuel card, bro? Man, I got them with the directs, man. I recommend going straight to the horse and mouth shit because most of the time you get fuel card that's in networks for like, let's just say Pilot Flying, JTA, Petro, all that stuff. You gotta get a fuel card that's in that network and collectively you probably pull up and save 12, 13 cents using that card, or you could come with the 4, 5 cards. You got one for Pilot, you got one for Petro, and all of them kind of a little bit different. You could be pulling up and saving 20 to 40 cents just by dealing straight with them. They take ACH every week out your account that you use, and you can work it like that, and you can save a little bit more money. Then you come with people like Tab. They factor. They got their own fuel card, which let you take advantage of Trans Am truck and fleet. And you know you come and you pull up, and they got network. I done saved 84 cents before. Y'all saw me save $40 with one pull up one time. I think I put that video out about 3-4 months ago. Hell, I say like $43 and one fill up. That shit was gravy as fuck. I'm talking about that was my factory feedback right there. They charged me like $30-something. I think I say almost $50 at the pump just on what I supposed to been paying for fuel instead of what I actually paid for fuel. That's why I made that video say you can factor your load for free. While you country motherfuckers still talking about it's a rip off and this right there. Every service you got gonna cost something. That's why I said low overhead. Whatever you can learn how to do yourself and you can keep that money in your pocket, learn how to do it. Need to learn how to build a Cummins. That's what you need to do. Learn how to build a truck look like, you know what I'm saying, to the point where whatever you can do, they're going to keep that money in your pocket. That's a penny saved, a penny earned. That's a sweet-ass penny, y'all. Give my money away. Don't go out here and buy nobody project. Don't go out here and figure out why they got rid of the truck. I don't want to know why you got rid of that truck. I just want to know when I get the truck, is as stock as possible. I can go to any dealership in the country, you don't need that. Because fuck with your total cost of operation. Now you got a dip in that maintenance account when you could have cruised that thing all the way. But yeah, never seen a truck pimp. Hey, man, hey, real talk, man. It's a whole lot of pimping going on out here in this trucking game. Whole lot of pimping and misleading on the YouTube side too. But you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker chasing a sponsor need to be chasing a check. Because one thing I know, I watch a lot of channels that ain't got nothing to do with High Shot. I watch a lot of automotive stuff. I like a lot of diesel channels. I watch a lot of stuff like that. And you can believe it. With this COVID-19 going on, and everybody got their borrowing ass out here getting money and this and that and the other like that, get what? Get what's gonna happen? Hey, all that shit gonna come collect through, but get what? You think these major corporations didn't get a major kickback when you got them little $1,200 for a stimulus and all that? They got $1.2 million for a stimulus for their company, and then turn around and got the employee assistant, and get what? Just because what's going on, everybody gonna milk the system, keep crying broke, and hope the Fed keep pumping money in this shit. So get what that mean? Advertising budget kind of low right now, sir. We gotta pull these sponsorship, my nigga. Cause get what? We on the book playing broken po. We can't be paying you yada 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 such and such amount of dollars just to pump their product, and ain't nothing selling right now because of the COVID and we don't know what's going on. We can't have the government paying for your sponsorships on your videos and all that old bullshit. Motherfucker need to be trying to get a real check. That for real. I ain't talking these virtual ad checks. I ain't talking about websites. I ain't talking about no motherfucker one-on-one consultation. Motherfucker need to be trucking. And if you got it on your mind, get it off your chest, because get what? You need to be trucking. If you out here doing this shit and you really try and get some money, you need to really stop and think about a lot of decisions you're going to make. Do not pattern your shit out to me. Do not pattern your shit out to nobody else on YouTube. You might get some guidance. You might get some love from some people that really want to show you the way. And you can come to this channel anytime you want to and watch anything you want to pertain to whatever I'm talking about, and I'm going to stand on it. Yeah, no doubt. But at the same time, you come get any kind of information you want. If you want to drop a comment, ask something, I'll make a video about it. We go live, talk about it all day. But at the end of the day, I ain't going to mentally now, motherfucker. Because guess what? This shit too serious. Y'all know the motto. If this shit don't work out, I'm going to lose my house. This motherfucker, all right. Shit, my house, man, hold up, man. This motherfucker, all right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the best, the biggest, the brightest, but this motherfucker, all right. I come in on the road and be on some more shit. This motherfucker, all right. I like my shit. So guess what? What I look like telling y'all some crazy shit that I can't even prove because I'm floating on somebody else's money, and this shit ain't really got no consequences to me if it don't go right, sit way down the line, and ain't nobody gonna know nothing about it. Man, I ain't got my ass on there. And y'all know it. I got my ass on no shit like that. Hold up. Nice neighborhood, some good ass schools, and if this shit don't work, I'm gonna lose all that shit. That's the type of mentality I came out with. And even if it ain't pressing like that, I knew I had a cushion when I started and everything like that, but that's the type of mentality you gotta have about this stuff, because it's too serious to play with. You see Hot Shot Veteran on here, that boy just went and spent $77.5. My boy signed his name on 77.5. I know some folks staying in some houses don't cost 77.5. I know some folks staying in some $9,000 and $10,000 houses. So you put 77.5 in the game to get your money back. I think the brother might know what he doing to bet that hard on himself. And that's all it is. What you willing to bet on the risk versus reward that you gonna do all right. And what tools have you been given and what steps have you been taking to ensure the least probability of a problem during the process? That's why I say equipment gonna play a big role. Yeah, low overhead, low overhead, low overhead, low overhead. Fuck what it look like. For real. That's what folks got to get in their head. Because I had some folks started out right behind me starting out. But guess what? Fuck what it look like. What tarp you recommend? Hey, man, anything but that tarpaulin blue Harbor Freight type bullshit. Anything rated for steel, wood, any type of tarp like that. If it's a 6-foot drop tarp and it roll out 12 feet long and you can pick it up with one hand, that ain't the right tarp. You need some heavy duty tarps and some stuff that gonna last. But yeah, as far as tarps, the tarp shop online, my T got some, but you want something rated for steel or wood now. You want some real tarp, because, man, them shippers get real offended. They get real offended when you pull up with that Walmart tarp now. Look like your roof leaking on your house now. They get offended now. They finna put this $50,000 piece of equipment on here that can't get wet. They get offended, and they get offended enough to tell you get your motherfucking ass on somewhere, too. Ain't nobody got no stuff to be throwing away. They risking their reputation putting this stuff on your truck that when it get to the customer, it gonna be in good condition. The customer be able to get some use out of it. So they ain't gonna let you fuck their name up. They ain't gonna let you do that. So guess what? They gonna tell you, hey man, you can come up with these right tarps, and I ain't talking that Walmart Harbor Freight shit. You can come up with the right tarps, or you can call your broker them and tell them they gonna have to find somebody else to come get this, because we're not putting it on there. And I'd have been up there in Utah, and guess what? Hey, pulled up, and just because the color of my skin, they looked at me like I ain't supposed to have everything I supposed to have. They steady questioning me about tarps. You got tarps? Yeah, I got tarps. What kind of tarps? I got tarps for heavy duty tarps. Well, can we see them? And this like that. Man, guess what? If I was Jimbo Bradley and came over there, good old boy, they wouldn't ask me a goddamn thing about a tarp. But guess what? the shit they were covering up it could get wet. That's the crazy part about it. That's why I know it was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But when I came out with the tarp and started rolling it out, you should have saw the look on their face. That's why I knew what they were thinking. Because the look on their face was, oh shit, we look like assholes out here. Damn, we look like whole assholes out here, man. You think we was a little bit too abrupt with them? You know what I'm saying? You think we were too abrupt with them on there? Now they want to talk to me. Now they my friend. Now everything good because I pulled out some $500 tops and they thought I had some Walmart shit. And Draco Kenny, if you watching it, you were there, you saw it, you seen it for yourself, you felt that feeling. Da, da, da. But at the same time, yeah, steel and wood tarp. Let me see what else you said, man. Cargo control, yeah, they got great shit, bro. Hey, all live matter, cargo control. You at cargo control, y'all. Hey, they fuck around with everything you want. Personally, me, I don't do 8-foot drops because I'm not going that high. I stop at 6-foot drops. You know, that's just my preference and preference for all my guys. I don't when I spec out my own operator with their equipment and everything, we stop at 6-foot tarp. If they're low, 8 and 10 feet tall, they need to be tarped. I tarped a 9-foot one that was like the base of it was like maybe 5 feet. So I used 6-foot drop the long way and dropped it over there. But that whole trailer, 10 feet, 9 feet, 8 feet tall and tarp, we ain't doing that. We don't do that. We'll leave that to y'all experts that don't mind falling on you and busting your shit. Because that's too far to fall. Now, I stand falling 4 feet off a 3-foot trailer. That's 7 feet right there. But I'm not falling 10 feet off a 3-foot trailer. You might not make it. I'm thinking about my semi 8-foot transitioning to high shot. Hey, man, you know, like I said, this shit relative for real. Because what you driving, Mr. Rick Drain? What kind of freight you move? You drive van, reef? What you do, Mr. Rick James Jr.? Rick James, bitch. Hey, Rick James Jr. What you do? Yeah, them tarps are heavy as hell, Go Gorilla. Hey, that shit's no joke. Like, that is the hardest part of the job. And that load that I picked up, it whooped my ass, y'all. I'm talking, man, I was coming back in torrential rain, and a drive that normally takes 2 hours took me like 3 hours and 35 minutes because I had to stop and check the tarp and redo stuff, and it was like 40-mile-an-hour side winds. If y'all know Louisiana, like 2 nights ago or a night ago, it was hell over there, y'all. I'm talking, it was bad. Just got a car hauler. Okay, hold on. Let me, what tiptoeing it? I believe I can add you as a what you call it, tiptoeing. Goddamn tiptoeing. I think I'm gonna add you as a what you call it, bro. Hold on. Goddamn tiptoeing. Where you at, tiptoeing? You gone? Maurice, you gone? Comment some, Maurice. I think I can make you one now. I'm talking about what you, okay. You do freight on flatbed semi. To be honest with you, Mr. Rick James, being where you at and what you're doing, I transitioned to that semi with a step deck. Cause it's relative, like I'm saying, bro. A step deck ain't nothing but a big ass hot shot. I'm gonna show y'all how to run that motherfucker too. Oh God, I'm gonna show y'all what it is. I'm gonna show y'all how to come from having a truck, no trailer, grind all the time, by 30 days, wink wink. And get what? Hey, I'm gonna show y'all how to do that with low overhead. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about shit. Little cushion on work, everything been checked. Hell, I just sent D $500 for the truck over there today just to make sure the air conditioning right. Check all the little lines, see, make sure everything good. And we had a little problem with the speedometer. Make sure that's straight. I just sent D5 over there this morning just on the strength. Hey man, do what you can do with that and see what we can do about them little itty bitty small problem. Man, that truck low already, man. I'm gonna take y'all with me. Ain't gonna be no big old thing, but I'm gonna show y'all this shit relative and this scale the same way. The plan is the same. The equipment really don't matter. That's why I said, Brick Jane, I transition to a 53-foot step deck and go hard on their ass. Come through about 4 of them John Deeres on at the same time, swagging. I'm talking swag with about 3-4 of them John Deeres on there, $7 a mile. Run tell everybody. Oh, see, that's what you do, Rick. If it's any way possible. Tell you, Rick, ain't no need coming. Hey, grab no hot shot, and you already out there fuck with that semi. You see what the flatbed do for our consistency. Now you come and see what that step deck do when you talk about specialized equipment. See, that when you grow yourself into a specialized equipment, that number gonna always be right because it's specialized. That's why reefer generally play well, even though, market go up and down, but reefer generally pay well because that's a specialized trailer. Yep, 48-foot loads are paying well right now. Yes, they are. I talked about that 2 weeks ago that went from Florida to Alabama back to Florida. I broke that load out. That load was 8 band for real, y'all. That shit was 8 band, 48,000 pounds. It was a round trip, and it was 8 band. Niggas say what they want to say. That's some odd shit. I was shocked. I thought it was a mid-print. They were dead serious. It was 8 band. So, hey. It depends on how bad they want this shit moved and where it got to go and when it got to be there. For real. 5-car triple X. God damn, boy. I mean, yeah. Yeah, semis are cool. I ain't gonna lie. Semis are cool. But five car, 3 axle. What's that reason? I always try to take hot shot at flatbed load. Hey man, I can't say nothing because I'm a hot shot. I always try to take a flatbed and a step dig load. I'm just saying. So I mean, it is what it is. And a couple of times they put some shit that needed to be moved really, really bad. They paid me $800 for 200 miles for 2 pallets that really went in the dry van. I strapped that shit on my trailer. They wanted it in Louisiana. I took it straight to Louisiana from like 50 miles from my house. All mile. Yo, I was right at 360 something all mile, but just on paper, it was $4 a mile. But all mile dead here and everything, I was like 360 something. So yeah, I can't say nothing about that because I got some dry van shit. I done pulled up at Shippers where I pulled up and a dry van pulled up right next to me to load the stuff up. And get what? Couldn't get it because it got to be side loaded. It's something they can't do. So yeah, everybody try to get everybody. Cause like I said, this shit a free for all, man. And that's that one of the things where I said, man, this shit everywhere. This shit really for everybody. It's just, if you gonna be the pimp, is you gonna be the motherfucking hoe. If you gonna figure out what you need to know to get on the right side of the money. Can you look at what all your deductions is from the start to the finish and say, hey man, this is worth it? For real. And like I said, the big truck company's been playing this fucking game with people forever. The enterprise lease and short-term, long-term rental, whatever they call that shit, that's the oldest game in trucking. They just brought it to a pickup truck because they seen people pulling trailers out of Elkhart, Indiana, trying to get into trucking, and they needed a truck to pull them people, campers and stuff, from the factory to the dealership and deadhead all the way back up there, and they saw a spot where they could come in and say, hey man, we can get you a new truck. Hey man, we can send you down the street and get your ball put in and everything, man. We can get that thing put on your insurance and we give you a brand new truck every 50, 60,000 miles. You don't never have to worry about it. Just sign right here. Give us 3,500, $5,000. Just sign right here, man. Don't worry about them first 2,500, 5,000 miles. What they been telling the semi guy forever. Come on down, 0 down, man. Come on, man. Hey, no big deal. Get this lease on brand new 2020, 2021 Peterbilt. built. Get you a custom built ride. And come on down here and give us zero down to sign this lease right here, man. The payments ain't nothing but $3 grand a month. You're gonna make that in 6 hours. Don't even worry about it. Just everything good, especially in this market right now. If you do this, your email's probably been blowing up. Don't do that shit, y'all. Save your money. Hustle, grind, save your money. Have your money. Go find you a truck. It ain't gotta be brand new. Get all the stuff you need to do. Get to the truck, make it load ready, and come on out with something you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, hey man, go get a brand new truck. If you're really ready for a brand new truck, your money say you're ready for the brand new truck, your credit say you brand new truck, and you don't need no lease company that making you put up an escrow on some shit you'll never own. It's a good way to scale the operation and use them that truck to actually help you put up money to buy a truck. But that's also the biggest trick that they ever play with you. Because at the end of the day, even if you pull out that truck early and you have done zero damage, let's just say you lease that truck today, drive off, come back tomorrow, turn that semi back in, they're gonna charge you a $2,500 remarketing fee just to get it back ready to sell, even though you haven't put 10 miles on this truck. Like I said, a lot of times, the reason we start these businesses is to remain profitable, become profitable, remain profitable, and maintain control. As we've seen, you can't maintain control on enterprise time. Because when it's time for you to get another truck, enterprise said we ain't got nothing, you stuck like Chuck. Now you just delve and do some shit without a whole lot of thought. It look good, it different, it make for really good content, but shit don't make money in real life. And sometimes I be so discouraged, y'all just don't know. Sometimes I be so discouraged about these videos and stuff, cause you say stuff that in the perfect world makes sense. In a common sense type of thought kind of way. Ain't nothing real extraordinary about nothing I'm saying. It's just good damn business practices, being accountable, doing some accounting, and just watching shit and paying attention to the trends and knowing where you stand and being real with yourself and not lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, sometimes, man, y'all don't know. I not upload some shit. I be wanting to go live. I want to make a video about some shit, and I be like, man, they don't hear me. They don't even hear me, man. I don't believe they hear me. Cause it just too many folk walking off this same cliff, doing the same thing they seeing these people do, and wondering why they numbers and shit ain't matching up like these people number, and why they really can't see no money. And for those that being even halfway truthful about the number, you can't even see how they get no money. They keep doing this shit, so like, why am I even putting out content? I know it helping some people, but goddamn, I be slick discouraged, y'all, for real. It ain't about no truck, and it be about y'all. I be worried about y'all for real though. Man, that shit really concern me. Like, sometimes I be really thinking about y'all, man. Hey, for real. I be really thinking about y'all, man. Cause I be wondering who out there finna go get these people their money today. Who finna go out there and rent a hot shot trailer for somebody trying to make some money to get started in a business that they clearly ain't ready to be in yet if you can't get your equipment together. Sometimes it's time to hurry up and hold up and wait. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real enough to tell y'all this, man. On God, yeah, we've been on here a while. But bro, hey, I'm real enough to tell y'all, man. Especially with the 1 hour consultation, they one up. Hey, it was crazy. These 1 hour consultation. Hey, make you laugh, you crazy. Hey, but for real though, these one-on-one consultations I be doing, these videos like this and stuff I be doing, I'm strictly here to help because I really be concerned because it just seems like it's a waste of good potential in really good people that trust what really not so good people tell you, show you, but really can't quantify in a meaningful way as to how this shit is gonna change your life for the better to make it so that you can be financially free. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have to excuse sometimes. I get a little emotional. I say a few words I probably shouldn't say. But the vernacular is there and the dialogue is 100. For real. So, you know, like I say, man, I might get a little passionate about it because, man, I get a lot of calls. These consultations be real to the point where, man, like I said, some people just need reassurance, but you know what I'm saying? To be turned 180 degrees around from the shit they've been eating and feeding off of for years, trying to save up money to do this shit just to jack your money off. Man, you will jack your money off. Especially on a new authority that ain't kicking hard yet. Everybody don't know you're around. Your MC number, your carrier package ain't built up like talking about it. You ain't just really been out there that long. You need a cushion. You don't need somebody charging you by the mile every time you trying to go out and make some money. That shit might be cool as hell for the first 2 months. And people be like, oh man, it working for me, man. You know, they got us at a free 5,000 miles and yada, yada, yada. That's because you ain't working yet. You ain't doing shit. You ain't went nowhere. I'm just saying, if you ain't going over that mileage in the first couple of months, don't feel bad because that ain't normal. That's normal. That's normal to go the first 4 weeks on the authority and pull 2 or 3 loads. Can't figure out how to link up the back haul to the house yet because you ain't made it there experience wise. You don't really know exactly how to pinpoint this stuff and coordinate the dates and the times and make everything go together because you ain't got that good yet. It gonna be a couple of months, 3 months that you run 2,500 miles for the month, 4,000 miles for the month. But as soon as, and hold up, while you doing them 3, 4,000 miles a month and everything cool, you enjoying the fact that you ain't really had no truck no because you stayed up under them miles and everything was cool. Guess what you also ain't been doing? Because you ain't ran no mile. You ain't made no money. So it offset. All that shit offset itself. It still come back to zero. It come back to zero. So when your fourth month come in, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth month come in, and you really start rolling and doing 25, 3,500 miles a week, then you start to realize that, oh shit, how long did I sign that shit for? Huh? How long I gotta stay in it? Wait a minute. I got a 3,200 mile run. It's going to Cali from Atlanta. I got 3,200 mile run, and it's paying okay. But when I get back, I'm gonna be to increase my bill on this truck for the month by about $600, and I got 30 more days to run. Holy shit. The increase of $700, that's a basic truck note. And I got 30 more days to run. Holy shit. Your accountant will look at you. If you got CPA or accountant, he'll look at you like, womp, womp, womp. If you got an accountant or a CPA or anybody that financially respond and know about money, they're going to look at you and be like, womp, womp, womp. I'm going to explain to you where rentals come in at. And enterprise does not support what I'm trying to tell you right now. So that's why that shit don't apply to high shine. Rental truck come in. Yeah, no way in hell I'm paying $3K for a truck note with the worst credit. That's true. That's true, man. They got some incentives right now where your credit can be below par, which I don't recommend it. You can get financed for something reasonable. You know what I'm saying? My main thing with buying vehicles, whether it be work truck, the Mercedes, or whatever I do, I like the Mercedes, y'all. That's my shit. But at the same time, whether I'm buying any of those items, and we would list them as a slightly big ticket item with this equipment and trucks and everything, man. the biggest main consideration is getting financed before you go to the dealership, people. I'm gonna give y'all the game today, baby. I'm gonna give you the game. What grandma said, I'm gonna give y'all the game, baby. For real, I'm gonna give y'all the game today, baby. Now, then what you do? You take your little thumb, you put it on your little phone, and you go to Safari or whatever kind of little internet browser you got on your phone, and you go holler at somebody like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Capital One, even might want to try Credit One. And what you want to do is go in there and put in your information and how much you're looking for and apply for auto finance. Let me give you the game. This is why. Most of the time, those type of websites have slightly lower criteria for approval. And they don't usually give hard no's, but they'll approve you for a lesser amount. Sort of what the dealership do when you come in and try to buy an Escalade with some Trailblazer money, and they put you in the Trailblazer. We can't get you approved for the Escalade, but we got something really nice for you, that type of shit. Okay, now you want to get online and go on there and go ahead and get yourself pre-financed, get you an approval letter with their information on it and how much you approve for it, and if it's a bank, you could possibly get a check for that amount. Then, and only then, you want to really begin to search for your particular vehicle, whether it be a car, a diesel truck, or whatever, because this is going to help you avoid the bullshit. Now, this the bullshit. Let me break it down to you. And y'all, a lot of y'all know where I'm going with this shit. Because there's some bullshit, and it happens every single day, 20 million times a day all across the world. Folk playing with the money factor. Folk playing with that money factor. And if you know about cars, I was in dealership a long time. If you know about cars and selling cars and buying stuff, money factor might be the best thing you need to be worried about. And one of the bigger ways that you can control the money factor is not allowing them to be able to fuck with your credit. Thumbs up if you've ever been to a dealership and your credit wasn't quite right and you wasn't pre-financed and you stayed in the dealer over 2 hours to buy that car. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. If you ever went to buy a car and stayed in the dealership over 2 hours, I'm going to show y'all where I'm going with this here. Time over everything. And there's a reason why they took your time. This took stayed in the dealership more than 2 hours. Sometimes it take you all day to get this shit done. Y'all know how they go. Folks sometimes. But sometimes it take you all day to get that deal did. Julian Hall, you hit the nail on the head, son. You hit the nail on the head. While you was sitting around in that dealership and they were calling themselves being your friend, instead of going back and forth to the finance office and trying to get you approved, they ran your credit hard. Hard run. Hard inquiry on your credit. So when you leave, you came in there with a 650 and you really could have been qualified for something. They ease you down to a base model, whatever, because now you got a 625 and they done drop your score 15 points while you been sitting up in there looking at the wall and seeing how nice these showroom cars are. They play the game. So now they can still get you financed for that truck you want. We just need a bigger down payment. Now we're going to change the money factor on you and your interest rate will change, which is going to put you in a position where that stuff's going to be out of control to where now we need you to probably finance this truck for 5 years. Biggest trap in this shit. Don't get no 5-year note. Tell you now, don't do it. Try and stay around the 3 year, maybe 4. Don't get no 5, 6. Some people get 7-year notes. I don't give a damn how nice that new truck is. Don't you do it. Because that truck ain't going to last that long, y'all. Without substantial modifications. That truck will not last 5 years without substantial modifications. You feel me? Thumbs up if you feel me. When you get that 5-year note, I don't give a damn if it's a 2021 Ford. The systems in place on that truck will not allow that engine to live 1,000,000 miles. It ain't gonna happen. Them systems on that truck will not allow that truck to live 550,000 miles trouble free. It won't let it do it. It won't let it do it. So you got to know what you're buying. You're buying a depreciating asset that not only depreciates over time in miles, which you're going to put on very rapidly. Very rapidly. I'm talking, you're going to put these miles on rapidly. Once your shit get to kicking up and going, that 100,000 mile warranty you so crazy about, that shit going to be gone 9 months. 9 months, y'all. For the folk that do this shit and really run that highway, I don't give a damn if it's a semi, a high shot, or what. 9 months. If you really working. Now, if you bullshitting and you got some real, or you got some real high paying local stuff going on where you can keep tight radius and all that. But if you really chasing that dollar and you chasing that market, you chasing that lane with that money in and you staying with that money right there, I mean, you might be going anywhere. 100,000 miles, 9 months. Tell them how Shy Haven said, 9 months. And that's being moderate, because I run the wheels off that bitch. I go out there and do me 15, 18,000 miles in a month. Don't ask me how I do it, but I do it. And get what? If I want to run at a check like that, then show business. But I know one thing. I pay one truck note. They don't change how many miles I put on my truck. I pay one goddamn note every month, and it does not fluctuate. They call that a fixed cost. Vocab word, message, fixed cost. That's your main objective. Taking many of them variable costs out of the variable cost column and put them in the fixed cost column. So you can get an accurate evaluation of where you stand financially. You can't really count that money that change like that and you don't know what it is. You can high estimate and do some stuff and account for it, but you can't really do accounting on it because you don't know what the net bill gonna be. You don't know what the net bill gonna be. You know you paid $1,200 for a truck note this month, and you ran a lot of miles, and next month it's gonna be $2,200. You can't say. You just gotta keep up with it as you go, so you know how much money to have when they get ready to make their ACA draw or whatever, so you don't get your truck took. In the grand scheme of things, if you're gonna give somebody $2,000 for a month, why not let it be your truck? Why not pay your truck off in 2.5 years, like I did? My truck ain't cost no $60,000. Truck cost $34,000. Do recommend one of each on the tarps? Yeah, but for convenience sake, I would get some 4-foot drops and probably with me some 4-foot and some 6-foot drops. Just because if it's a 4-foot load, you don't really want to hurt yourself out there carrying a 6-foot tarp for no reason. But economic wise, 6-foot tarp, or if you're gonna go high as 8, it'll cover everything shorter than that. But just for convenience sake and saving your back, yeah, I recommend you get some in the size that you're gonna use the most, preferably a 4-foot to start out with, and keep the length on them conservative. I would much rather you cover a 40-foot trailer with 4 10-foot, 4-foot drop tarps than to cover it with 1 40-foot, 4-foot drop tarp, because you're going to work yourself to death. You're going to work yourself to death. So like I said, with the tarp selection, if you're covering 40 feet, I get 4 10-foot tarps or 2 20-foot tarps. If it's not in the budget, you get 2 20-foot tarps. It's going to be a lot less effort on you, a lot less chance of you hurting yourself, pulling muscles, twisting ankles, and all type of shit out there, dealing in this loose gravel and trying to, wrestle with this stuff. If you could have some tarps that are kind of not so much specialized, but the right size where you can physically handle this stuff. And if you got a tarp in the rain, it's not throwing your weight around. And also while you're tarping, when the wind blows, the smaller the tarp, the less likely it is for it to parachute and take you off the trailer with it. Shout out, thumbs up for anybody that ever tried to tarp a full trailer load with one tarp in the wind. That shit ain't fun. You'll much rather deal with, 10 feet at a time. Oh yeah, go gorilla. Hey, most definitely, man. Now I will shout out Harbor Freight on them tarp, man. With your commodity, you know what I'm saying, on the sharp corners and the edges and things like that, and then put the tarp over it. So one thing about it, if it does want to puncture, that's just an extra layer of protection on those tarps, because tarps are expensive. Tarp repair is expensive over a course of time, because you have so many repairs on one tarp that it ain't good, you know. Size so many, but hey, Mr. Rick James, man, story of my life, boy. If man, shoot, whole trailer load, you might go through 50, 60 bunches out there playing around, man. But it gotta be right. Cause one thing about it, you know, if anywhere that air can get in, it gonna get in, baby. You have your balloon ride down the highway. Real talk. But like I said, man, I just like chilling with y'all. It's Sunday, man. I hope everybody enjoying the weekend. Everybody been cool. Still a lumber on the tarps? Either one. Either one. Either one. Steel, you know, steel is going to be a heavier tarp than the lumber tarp. Both of them are pretty good, though, like I say. Use scraps for steel so they won't rip. Yes, sir. Man, Mr. Rick James, the game, baby. Hey, appreciate that super chat, bro. Hey, man, good looking out, Mr. Rick James, man. Make sure, man. Hey, we hope that, you know, this video will help get a little traction, man, and y'all can share this, and hopefully somebody will be blessed by it, you know what I'm saying, and avoid some of the things, get a couple of tips and everything. But yeah, the moving blankets, they cheap too, y'all, like $4 or $5 for a pack. You go and spend your $30. And shoot, you have a bunch of them. They're pretty good size too, and they have really saved my tarps over the years. Because at first I didn't know about them and I wasn't using them, and man, it's just I used to wonder, man, how you tarp this stuff and it's all sharp, and man, and instead of poking through, man, how do you stop this? And it's just, you know, one of those things that over time you get to thinking about. You're like, I could cover this up with something and save this $500 tarp. You know what I'm saying, that I don't want to replace. And, you know, that gets expensive in your total cost of operation. So those preventative purchases such as those can actually lend themselves to save you hundreds of dollars. You spend $20 on some tarp mats and save yourself a $500 tarp purchase in the future. Because that thing might last, like mine. You know, I got one set of tarps on there. I'd have had that set of tarp 2.5 years. That one tarp, 2.5 years. So it's completely possible. Island 5906, man. Hey, man. Hey, bro. Hey, Jay on 2 wheels, man. Hey, real talk. That truck, that '06 that I ran, man, I speak highly up on it because that truck was good to me, man. Real talk. Every truck got its issues, especially with that one, number 4 injector lines, and you know, just dealing with shit. That truck got the same injectors in it still, man. That truck got factory everything. It got the same clutch I had in it when I bought it. The only problem I had with that truck is came from bad drivers. Bad fucking driver. That was the only problem I had with that truck. Besides the number 4 fuel injector line, those things go like crazy. But at the same time, beside that, mechanically, it still got the factory CP3 on it. It still got the factory filter housing on it. It got the factory intake sending unit in it, and lift pump. All that shit, it came from Dodge. And it's in that truck, and it's the way it was when it was bought. And that truck had not been modified. I ain't even put airbags on that damn truck. Y'all gotta understand, man. It ain't about being cheap or none of that stuff. It's about, will this shit do what you want to do? Fuck what everybody else doing. Do what work for you. If you don't need the shit, why you buying it? Cause somebody else say, oh man, you gotta have this. You can't live without that. Yeah, it's a luxury. It's something you do. But at the same time, the advice you follow, like I said, should be your own. You know what I'm saying? That what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta get a shocker hitch just called the hot shot Haven got a shocker hitch. Hell, I ran a whole year and a half without a shocker hitch. I'll never do it again. But but I did. The shit is totally not a necessity. It's a luxury. You know what I'm saying? And it's different stuff. When you get in the game for a while and you look at it, you'll realize that a shocker hit really ain't a luxury. When you think about how bad your back gonna be feeling going across these expansion joints, and the fact that you can never relax in your seat and just drive like I do, you know what I'm saying? You'll realize you come home and can't walk sometime because of that snatching and jerking. And you find out that it is a necessity. Shout out on that one. Shocker hitch. It makes it so I can run and jump, skip, and play when I come home. Yeah, I got something soft up in there, man. Shit, I ain't trying to come home walk like no old man. You gotta put your back into it, doc. Yeah. Hey man, love Julian. Hey, love, hey, all y'all, man. You know, this is a long line, and you know, Hater said they ain't gonna watch this shit. Hater said they ain't gonna look at this, man. Motherfucker ain't gonna watch no hour-long live and all that there, man. Like I said, fuck a Hater, you know it. You know it. I hope the weak motherfucker watching now. I hope he watching. But at the same time, he know one thing. Gotta tighten his ass up. If you really wanna make it, gotta tighten your ass up sometime, man. For real. Fuck the problems that come with, you know what I'm saying, things not being what you say it is, and the shit don't work out like it look like it supposed to work out, but you still make it look like it working and keep going. When the real people that do this shit in real life get out there and spend their money and realize they ain't got no extra $3,000-$4,000 coming in off no YouTube channel, and economically that shit don't work, I hope they burn your house down. Yeah, I hope they burn your house down. Real talk. Because you playing with something that really don't need to be played with, and that's the livelihood of your fellow man, especially in an industry that, you know what I'm saying, for some reason, they respecting it, but at the same time, hey, 15 PSI in that shocker hitch, King Gorilla, 15 PSI. The other trailer, the Lamar trailer with it, is running like 19 PSI. I kind of don't like 19 PSI, but I ain't bothered with it because it's cool when you put heavy shit on the front. But yeah, like 15 PSI, the factory setting, they say do it. It's soft as tissue paper, boy. I'm thinking that thing be snatching. You can see that trailer snatching going across that bridge doing that in that truck, yeah. And I gotta say this too. Anybody ask me how. Somebody ask me how. How does a shocker make your truck last longer? How does a shocker hitch help keep your truck out the shop? A lot of people don't think about this. It's just about the cool ride quality and no more snatching and all that. I'm gonna tell you how that actual hitch itself. Julian, you on the right track. Less stress on the engine. Yes, sir. It does do that. It does do that, amongst other things. Hey, if the money good, would you recommend going to use 30K truck or 60K generally talking? I mean, if it's a good price on it, you're gonna try and get the lowest mileage possible, man, and have as much of the factory warranty remaining if it's that new of a truck. But yeah, you're gonna try and get the freshest truck you can for the money. That's basically the freshest top stop truck that doesn't seem to have pulled much that you can for the money. Now, damn, what was I finna say before he said that? I was finna go off into something else. Okay, the shocker. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The shocker. How that thing prolongs the life of your truck. Now, if you think about what's going on, you got a truck, you got a trailer. They are independent, but they are in combination. They hook to each other. Okay. The truck has a pretty modern suspension setup, and it's meant to tow stuff. So the up and down is not so much the problem. The problem is this trailer is bouncing, and every time it bounces, it snatches. It snatches. So that's going up and down, and it's pulling on the truck, pulling on the truck, pulling on the truck. In turn, you in the truck driving, you get this. And it really gets annoying if you're coming through Louisiana on I-10. Anybody know Louisiana 10, and you come through 20 Louisiana, you come through Shreveport sometime, and I just singing them out because that shit is embarrassing for America. Yeah, they need to do better, man. That shit really a disgrace for the highway department. Yeah, I'm sorry, Julian, man. That shit is atrocious, man. That shit bad to ride on in a car, bro. I come through there in my Mercedes and I slowed down. That shit terrible. But anyway, while you doing all that, snatch, let's just say you ride down the highway normal. You got your cruise control on, everything good. Now, the ECM on that engine and the TCM for that transmission You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it working. It working. Everything getting good with it, man. Fuck a hater. It working. Yes, sir. Everything look good. I appreciate you. But yeah, that TCM, the ECM on that truck, regardless of basically how old it is, unless you 2000s or pre, but it's got an ECM and a TCM, and they're watching load parameters on that engine. Hey, Ratchet City, baby. Hey, hey, man, y'all cut that out. Okay, so that computer via the mass airflow sensor and the manifold absolute pressure sensor on that engine is monitoring that engine for load. Crank sensor is monitoring RPM. So once you get in a situation where we monitoring the RPM and the amount of air that's coming in the engine, we can calculate what the load is on the engine and how much fuel to spray. You see where I'm going? So with the amount of air that's coming in the motor being calculated, the RPM of the engine being calculated, and the gear being known to the TCM, which gear the transmission in, except in a manual. That's why I like a manual. Take a little bit of computer out of it. Okay. This engine is seeing a certain volume of air coming in on cruise control. You're just on flat ground. You're rolling. Let's just say you're at about 2,000 RPM. And it's steady state of tune, steady state pull. Everything is cool. As soon as you go across those expansion joints and the trailer snatches, immediately the demand of air in that engine because of the load increases goes up. At that point in time, to keep everything scotch metric with the fuel ratio, with the injectors and everything, the computer is going to command that injector to stay open longer and add more fuel for that cycle. Because when that snatch occurred, little did you know, the RPM on that truck dropped maybe 10 RPMs for a split second. Being in cruise control or having your foot in the same position on that pedal, that load on that truck goes up. The fuel amount of fuel spray goes up. It impacts your fuel economy every time that truck snatches. Now you go back farther in the drive line. You go from the engine to the torque converter or the clutch. At that apparatus, at highway speed, you got a torque converter. It's fully locked up. It is no longer a fluid coupling. It is a hard locked clutch in overdrive or any other gears that the torque converter is locked. And it's spinning. Keep you from rattling the truck. Oh yeah, hell yeah. So, hell yeah, Tim, that's right. So that clutch, that torque converter is spinning at a constant pace, with a constant inertia, with a constant speed. You introduce the outside force of that snatch. It's spinning together. This side gets a heavier load than this side, which be the drive side, and it wants to do this. Every time. It's spinning, but every time it's snatching, all the forces in the world that are holding these clutches together are trying to do this. They trying to slip, which in turn creates a thermal load on the transmission. You'll notice that your transmission temps go up, even though you ain't doing nothing out of the ordinary. You ain't pressing the gas harder or nothing. Just the fact that these clutches are locked together with hydraulic pressure and they are in a constant state of mesh via this load that's being put on this truck, and it's calculated in this transmission control module that the line pressure at this load will be this to hold these clutches together. Well, the load increased for a split second. Do you think that computer in a split second can communicate that to the pump? The pump actually changed the vanes, up the flow, and everything before that snatch leaves. It can't catch it. That's why when you increase the torque on these engines and stuff, most time you have transmission tuning that also increases the line pressure for those hits of torque, that you're going to be doing playing with the truck. But when you're pulling with the truck, every time it does that, it's trying to unmake those clutches. It's trying to do that. So now you see a lower fluid chain interval on your transmission. that fluid doesn't last as long anymore. That transmission is a lot more stressed out. Fifth wheel hitch, I ain't gonna say better or worse alternative when it comes to just the freight thing, but with the fifth wheel, I got a guy that does CDL with the dually and the fifth wheel, and it's a lot more of a, I ain't gonna say solid connection, but it's a lot more of a controllable connection. You know what I'm saying? As far as pivoting, because on the ball, the trailer is gonna do what it wants to do. And with the fifth wheel, unless you have a four-way rocking fifth wheel, which shit, you might well have a ball if you're gonna have that. Unless you got a four-way rocking fifth wheel, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna actually link that truck and trailer as far as the tip over factor a lot better than a ball. So it's no big deal. And like I say, it's one of those things where it's really a preference. But my partner that run that, he got the field wheel with the airbags up under it. And I ain't gonna lie, that dude, man, that truck ride like Cadillac, y'all. When you can separate the forces of the truck and make it independent of the trailer, you'll notice that your ride quality go up through the roof, baby. For real. So that's a little tidbit. Like I said, it ain't a necessity. It's a luxury. But when you roll with one and you roll without one, you're going to be like, I need that shit on everything I'm pulling. I need air ride, or I need something. I need something that can isolate this trailer from this truck. And simply have an air ride on the trailer and they're still having that solid connection right there does not isolate the truck. So air ride on the trailer ain't going to fix it. It's in that connection. It's in that connection. So that shout out for them boys that rocking them shocker hitches and shit. What the other one is? The one with the torsion bar, whatever. I don't really rock with that because it ain't adjustable. But if I want to soften it up, I want to soften it up. It ain't really a one size fit most type of deals like that other company would have you think. But at the same time, any little bit helps. Gen Y. Yeah, Gen Y, I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Anything to take some stress off your back, but I will say this, I like the fact that you can adjust that pressure on that shocker and you can go from that recommended 15 all the way up to 20, 25. It's really a low pressure system, but the change in air pressure does make a big difference in the ride quality and things like that when it comes to those hitches. But I ain't knocking Gen Y. I just say, it's kind of hard for me to believe that even though they only have 2 weight ranges that you could buy that in, that it would feel good in any situation with no adjustments or anything like that involved. So it kind of one of those things like, I think it probably would ride really, really good. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody said Gen Y don't stop back and forth like the shocker, just up and down. And see, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Really, the up and down ain't the problem. We got suspension. It's that snatch. That snatch that's going to have you sitting up in your seat like this, leaning on the armrest driving instead of actually being able to do this. And every time you go to sleep on your 10-hour break, you don't know why you sleeping so good. Because you're tired. Your body been fighting that damn highway all day. You're tired. You're exhausted just from riding because your body never was in a relaxed state to begin with. Your back was actually the shock absorber for the day. And that's not good, man. You know what I'm saying? That goes into driver retention. That goes into your retention because, man, you can't get out and drive this stuff if you can't move, you can't walk. Man, I'm telling you, I've come home and spent my whole weekend walking like a 80-year-old man. And I'm talking about tip myself 3, 4 in the morning and get back in that truck on a Monday morning, 3 a.m. and get the load where it got to go. And I'm talking about can't even hardly pick my foot up to shift the gears and clutch. That's why I float so much because there's less movements in the truck and less chance that you pull that growing muscle that like to go bad. If you do this a lot and you sit down and you pumping the clutch and all that, you will pull that growing muscle and that shit hurt. That shit hurt. That shit hurt. That riding without one to have you getting up every morning, the truck stop stretching. I know you'll stretch before you start your day because you know the truck finna whoop your ass. Real talk. But like I said, man, hey, it done been a decent. I think it was a productive live, y'all. I think it's productive, man. Anybody got any further question, comments? Yeah, G56 is a really good transmission. I got the first generation one with the wide gear spread, which ain't the preferable one, but it has totally got the job done every time. As long as you engage in those gears fully before you let that clutch out, those gears are strong. They strong. And big tip, if you get a manual, don't drive it like a car. Understand that a diesel engine is not like a car. It does not need RPMs to produce torque. Straight off the idle, these trucks have an uptake feature. So if you're in first gear, you're in low gear, it doesn't matter. I've had the whole 26,000 gross on the back of my truck, man. If you in first gear and you ease out on that clutch, don't even give it no gas. Yeah, Tim, you gotta invest in custom seats. That helps a lot. I really want to get the driver's seat rebuilt in my '06, which it probably gonna happen. I ain't just really tripping about it, but yeah, custom seats. They got a company they make air ride seats for these trucks now, man. Yeah, I wouldn't even believe that, but they got that. And like I said, it's not a necessity, but people like Tim Freeman, he knows. Shout out Tim. Hey, you know, certain stuff ain't a luxury until you done had it and you don't got it. You be like, that ain't no luxury. I need that. I need that shit. I need that shit in my life. You're like, man, I don't even know how. Man, I said that when I put that shock on there and rolled for a week, I said, man, ain't no way I've been out here a year and a half killing myself like this and I ain't have to. That's the best money I ever spent. That's the best money I'd have spent. Besides some 17 plies and 16 plies, 17 fives, and switching and upgrading truck tires and all that stuff. Besides stuff like that, the Shocker was the number one best investment I ever made in equipment. For real. And got an extra bag on me. They don't blow, but I got an extra bag on the back seat because I plan on keeping that hitch on that trailer. Even if I sell that trailer, that hitch going with me. I'll put the regular hitch back in there, and y'all have to make a way for yourself. Hint, hint. If anything come up and get sold, that shocker ain't going nowhere. And that's how much I believe in it for real, because it done saved me. It really has, y'all. But like I said, I hope it was informative, man. I took y'all, brought y'all to the house with me today, man. We sat down and chopped it up like the real buddies we are. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, I'm a type of person like this. If I got to lie to you, I'm going to keep my goddamn mouth shut. That just is what it is. If I got to tell you something that you'll never believe, I'm going to be able to prove it. Y'all know this. What they won't do. They'll come up with their numbers for the month, for the week. They made this and that and the other. Show them damn rate con. Tired of that bullshit, y'all. Tired of that bullshit. Show the rate con. You need an even full RTO 6610 transmission. Hey, man, somebody did that in a second gen. A red truck. I saw it on YouTube. That is some boss shit. I think they had a 9LL in that thing. I was like, man, you got a 9, low 9 in there. Boy, I'm talking shifting the shit out of it. And had me selling y'all a dream or try and put you up on something just on some old, hey man, I'm gonna get a kickback if I tell them to do this. Anything I ever told y'all to do, I already did. And still probably doing it because the shit worked. But at the same time, take what I got to say as a grain of salt, make the best opinion of it all, be the opinion of your own from that boy HT Logistics. Y'all go check that boy channel out, HT Logistics 3434. This dude sound like me in an 18-wheeler. On God. On God, y'all. This dude is like me in a semi. I ain't bullshit. Because the mind of people that know what's going on, it kind of work the same because this shit it's done the same way, man. Everybody want to do big boy boss ass shit, but you gotta think how these big boy boss ass mega carriers now they got to be like that. Like I told y'all in the other video, go read these 4 bio, the Swifts and the Mavericks and the Falcons and all them guys like that. They got that real major bank and they got these trucks all over the place. Stuff. Go on their website and read their bio, and you gonna see some shit start off like, oh, back in 1954 we started off, hey man, with one little. Wow. Happy birthday, Tim. Tim Freeman said, hey, y'all, by the time you get his age, get up out that truck, you'll be turned into a Rice Krispie. He turned 60 today. Happy birthday, Tim. 60. I'm trying to do that shit. 60. Hey, that is a blessing. Hey, man, God bless you, Tim. Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing, too, bro. You be chasing the chick. I be seeing you on Facebook, man. Stay encouraged, bro. 60. That's a milestone. But like I was saying, man, hey, one thing about it, man, I'm gonna keep 1,000 with y'all. Y'all stick with me. I'm gonna stick with y'all. That's how they go. I ain't trying to build up nothing crazy with the YouTube stuff, but man, send them folks over here. If you know somebody that might can help, man, send them to my channel. And one thing about it, if they want to do a one-on-one consultation, I'm gonna be here. I ain't going nowhere. Lord say saying I ain't going nowhere. And I'm gonna keep telling the truth. I don't give a fuck what a hater think about it. I don't care nothing about these folks, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to help some people do some stuff that's going to change their life for the better and not fall into the traps and the pitfalls and the dumb shit that take your revenue and make it so you really be out here running for nothing. You really out here don't work for yourself. You work for the bank. You work for these folks you keep borrowing money from. You work for these other people. And I'm trying to stop that shit. You can't reap the benefits of ownership of nothing if you refuse to own something. And sometimes, hurry up and wait is the real shit you got to do. Like I told y'all, man, sometimes the shorter way home is the long way home. So take your time. Hey, love y'all. Hey, I'm finna get out of here. What's the ticket on the 101? I'm interested. It's $40 via Cash App. My Cash App is $JBUTLER. So J Butler 357. And when you put it in where it has 4, just put your phone number in the 4 line, and I will promptly call you. And we can get the bid and work out whatever you need to work out in your personal situation, you know what I'm saying? And try and fine tune some things, man. Hey, y'all, all y'all keep it the sunny side up, man. Keep them wheels turned the right side down. Y'all know what I said about a hater. Hey, bring these folks over here, man. Because one thing about it, the truth need to be told about a lot of this shit. And a whole lot of lies being floated around. And there's a whole lot of folk backtracking off the shit they told you to do because they got people that throwing money at them and they able to stumble and bumble through these mistakes and really, really, really not feel it. But trust me, if you do that shit, if you do half of that shit, you most definitely will feel it. Peace.